I wanted to watch this Diamond and I fight over who gets to say.
Okay, so I did that, but then that came up.
You know, I'm in the same boat like as these guys. Not really in my wheelhouse as far as what I would have watched.
It's not something that I would sit down and watch again. Well, I can use the word suck for the first movie.
My reservations are that from the get-go, they were children's movies.
But holy hell, I just couldn't get into these first two movies. They've gotten better and better and better. The Order of the Phoenix, I thought, was a phenomenal movie.
Genuinely excited that I get to watch Harry Potter tonight.
Hey, I'm ready, willing, and able to watch this next one. Snape. Booby.
An absolute emotional roller coaster.
That was a real laugh right there.
Oh,
Ray!
Clap back, Potter! I just can't believe we lost him.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh no. Oh
Avada Kedavra.
What? There's no way. Man, I gotta believe Snape had a plan for this.
I seriously, like, these movies are deep because I feel like they're such a reflection on life.
Run.
Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back finally. That's Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. That's the answer. I'm Mason Quinn. We also have a special guest tonight being Eric Redbeard. Guys, I'm super excited for this live stream and I'm just so happy you all stuck with us and ready to get it off the ground and get moving.
First, a big thanks to Diamond Dave for getting it all ready, willing, and able to be going.
This is nuts, guys.
Few technical difficulties. Nothing Diamond Dave can't work his way through. As always, we appreciate you guys joining in. Drop some comments below. Let us know where everyone is checking in from. We know we got friends and family from all across the globe. Last live stream, we had some people from over in the UK, I believe, Australia.
Yep.
I mean, all over the place.
Anywhere and
So
everywhere.
let us know where everyone's checking in from as we get this thing kicked off.
All right, so as we start, Oak, real quick.
No,
We
got a guest win.
All right, I didn't know how we were going to do it.
Come on.
We're going to go right in hot into the
Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Redbeard joining us, and we got a lot to talk about with him. He's got a lot of future projects coming up in terms of acting. There's one on YouTube right now with him that's fantastic. Tito, check it out. And also going to get his thoughts on the latest Halloween movie that just came out. I know there's a lot of news going around with that.
Actually, stretch that out, fellas. I got to fit, as you can see here on the YouTube channel, I need to fit him into frame. So keep talking.
All right.
Oh, well, you know.
So like I said, there's been a lot of controversy about the latest Halloween movie. A lot of petitions for doing some reshoots. I don't know what you guys thought, but we all enjoyed it over here. And I'm pretty sure Eric Redbeard enjoyed it as well. Do we have any audio of him yet?
Oh, yeah. I think so. No, did we not?
You're not able to hear us?
He might be.
Oh, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
He can hear us. He's just messing with
You're
us.
talking away.
Well, I was waiting for you to jump in.
Hold on. Keep that mask on until I get this really working correctly here.
Yeah, hopefully he can breathe with the
we
mask
go.
on.
This is going to be a shit show here in the beginning, folks, but we're going to get it.
All right. So I guess the first thing I'd want to ask you about is, can you tell us a little bit about Tito? That's one that's out there and was a lot of fun.
Oh, Tito is a brainchild of, and I'm sure this mask I'm wearing is very fitting for the holidays. If I even came up,
It's not up yet, unfortunately. My just everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
And Quinn didn't put it over as per usual.
Oh, I said it was fantastic.
There he is.
You
Now I
loved
got
it.
him on the screen.
Well, now I don't even want to show the mask, but we'll continue.
But no, can you tell us a little bit about that shoot and everything, and a little bit about it?
Yeah. So a friend of mine, he's an actor. He used to work with WWE behind the scenes sort of thing, and he wanted to do something different. So him and his buddy, they wrote a short film called Tito. He had me in mind to play one of the roles of Hammer, and they shot this thing in about 4 or 5 days. And if you can watch it, I'm sure I can send the YouTube link or it'll be online somewhere. But they told a great story in 24 minutes. The lead actor they got for this is tremendous, and for a first time writer, film directors, they did a fantastic job. Really set the mood for kind of like that crime Nora and the American Dream. So it was a really fun shoot, and hopefully it's enjoyable for people to watch. And I got a few awards for the first time directors as well, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way it was shot. It really stood out, and I love the story that the main character went on. You know, like I said, for being a short film, they did a really good job of getting you invested in this guy right away. And you had a couple of lines in there that popped me pretty good too when you guys were playing the cards or the dominoes, whatever it was.
Oh no, it was fun, and it was. I mean, that's all I can say, man. It's always a pleasure to be able to tell a story, and that's what I always liked about wrestling, was telling stories. Even though you didn't always get a chance to have a good payoff, but at least in these short films and films, you usually know what you're getting into and know what the payoff's going to be. So it's a ride.
Absolutely. So let me ask you your thoughts on the latest Halloween movie. What did you think?
Where do I get started? I mean, how many of the four of you are fans of the Halloween movies, the franchise?
I
Oh,
am.
yeah. Me, big time.
I missed the last couple, but yeah, I remember the older ones as a kid. But yeah, I was a fan of those ones too.
I might get in trouble for this, but Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is a personal favorite of mine.
Oh, no.
and the beginning of this movie and the way they set a different tone to this movie, and what they should have done with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake on, like the direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre that was on Netflix. What they should have done was make Michael Myers, or Leatherface, an old man, which is what they are, old men that he's broken down. He can't kill no more. He's lost his mojo. And that little twist of when he gets that sense of killing again, like, then he becomes this unstoppable killing machine again. Would I have liked the final kills at the end be a little bit more exciting? Yeah. But I thought the whole story was awesome. I thought that the kid they got to play the guy that kind of like...
Yeah, played Corey.
Was a good kid that, made choices. Like, he wasn't a bad guy, but he made choices to be a bad guy because he liked the thrill and he liked the power.
Yeah.
And he liked the taste of that blood.
I was going to say real quick, Sandra also commented that she loved part 3 as well of Halloween.
Yeah, see, so it's got some.
So you're not
fans
the
out
only
there.
one.
Good take. Good take.
Some of the sequels were rough. I was out of town last year for a work trip, and these guys know I don't have cable TV at my house. I just have Netflix and Amazon. So it's like my treat when I'm staying at a hotel is to like watch Ancient Aliens and stuff. But last year AMC was doing a Halloween marathon, and I forgot how bad like some of them were. The one where they were doing like the reality show, and what was it, Buster? Was it Buster Rhymes or
Yeah.
you know? And then they had H2O.
Yeah,
I mean,
H2O.
some of them were pretty bad. I was really excited with the Rob Zombie reboots that they did maybe 10 years ago or so. I thought those were really good, and for the most part, I liked the last three. I thought it was neat how they basically, we're gonna pretend like every other sequel doesn't exist, and we're just gonna pick up right after the first one. So I thought that was good, but yeah, it got a lot of heat, and the fact that there's a petition to redo it, I think speaks volumes about the overall fan reaction. But we all liked
enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yep.
All except Diamond Dave.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have the first 50 minutes of one of the biggest icons of horror sitting in the sitting in the sewer. You know, at least on a big go home for me, I'm thinking, all right, we're going to get a lot of classic, Michael Myers horror, but did not get that. So I could see why some people enjoyed it, and I can see why some people did not like it, and I can see why that petition's out and about for a redo. Well, at least the ending, I think they petitioned for. I was okay with Jamie Lee doing what she did, Lori will say, but I wasn't a fan of seeing him in a sewer for 50 some odd minutes.
Well, that's how she goes sometimes. So did you prefer the Rob Zombie ones to these, or to these latest three, or where would you put them? There, Joe.
Yeah, so you got to point out who you're talking to.
Yeah, I know, that's what I was doing.
That's really get the confidence of. But I can't see him. I just see Diamond Dave.
I'm trying to get you.
Yeah, that's right.
And he just looks perplexed, like staring at the computer.
Oh, you should have saw him for the first hour.
Well,
He did.
he kind of did. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I liked Rob Zombie's Halloween, but like because it was like a different telling of the story, and you got to see the point of view of like the kid that went through this. You know, he felt the need to kill his whole family, and he ended up in a home, and you got to see that what all happened to him and what happened to his mom, and like to me that was interesting because like it was like real, and it wasn't just like he was this unstoppable killing machine because. Period. There's no reason. It's just because he's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Loomis goes a little crazy in part 1, but 2 and 4 and 5 and 6, he goes completely over. Like the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah, I just watched a little bit of part 6 the other day, and I think it was a deleted scene that I watched where I forgot that Paul Rudd is in Halloween 6. But when Dr. Loomis looks at his arm and like the tattoo thing appears, and then it just shows Michael Myers at the end walking away, I totally forgot about that part or never saw that scene.
That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Joe, let me ask you a question. Do you feel like there was some symbolism there with Corey and dating Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter, as far as like he's the next face of evil, and this was kind of, I know kind of how I felt, and some people thought like this was almost like a reboot of Jamie Lee and Michael, and then Jamie Lee Curtis kind of felt the need to intervene. Did you think there was some symbolism with Corey's character in the new one?
I mean, partially. The thing is, she tried to like give this kid a chance in the movie, because she saw some good in them, and then until she saw the complete change. But Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter, she didn't see that in them. She just saw the goodness until she was forced to see the badness. So I don't know if it's like a complete symbolism, because it's like it could easily be her, her granddaughter that becomes the evil one. It could easily be her making the choices to have enough of the town and burn it down, as they said in the restaurant. So like, it would have been easy to make this a Bonnie and Clyde thing, like where they both like, you know, start killing, but she never takes us to that step. It was, for her, it was just love. So it's really, I don't know if it's purpose symbolism, but to me, I was really intrigued by their relationship, and I wish I would have showed more of it, especially, you know, with her being tempted of having enough with the town, and you know, she had anger in her, but she never acted on that anger. So put you know, their shoes on a different foot. Like, what if she is the one that got thrown over and, you know, put into the sewer?
That's
would
true.
she have the one that would have then started killing people, and he would have been like, "Please don't do this. I love you." Like, I don't know. Like, that's where my mind goes when I watch some of these, because I'm like, it could easily go either way, because they're both victims of crazy trauma, just in different ways.
Yeah, so we got a super chat from Ganyu Els, and for 5 generous pounds, saying people are saying that she's going to be the new one as she kept the mask in the end. Now
I didn't even remember her keeping
That's
the
interesting
mask.
because you were saying at the end of the first one that they showed a scene with her in the truck kind of holding the knife, and there was some speculation about that.
Yeah, so at the end of the first reboot with Jamie Lee Curtis, when they're, you know, the house is on fire and they're leaving, and she had him in her sights at the bottom of the stairs and decided to not pull the trigger. They got out of the house. The granddaughter was in the back of the truck holding the knife, and there was a lot of speculation whether she was going to be kind of the new Michael Myers. Joe, did you read any of those theories at all after the first one, that the granddaughter was going to pick up where Michael left off or leaves off?
Believe it or not, I like to watch movies and, you know, have the theories in my head. I don't like to go online and look up theories. I mean, so
Fair enough.
That's fair.
Quinn, on the other hand, can probably spend hours just looking up theories.
Oh
Only
God!
if it's
You know how many
related.
websites he sent us to in our chat thread? None.
I could only imagine.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they showed her daughter kind of leaving town, leaving Haddonfield. So I gotta believe after this movie that I don't think she's gonna be picking up the mantle of Michael Myers. Will they do maybe a reboot or something different on it? You know, you never say never. So I think there's always a possibility to bring back one of the most iconic horror movie franchise characters ever. There's always a chance.
I'm predicting they'll have her in the next one, but she'll be going to the Silver Shamrock Corporation to work.
Silver Shamrock.
for Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, huh?
I hope. Yeah, they got to do a remake on that. Who's going to be the witch?
Season of the Witch.
Be watching it through the TVs.
And she'll fall in love with Tom Atkins' child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The love child from that movie.
Look at that. The term "love child" it's like the worst term in the world. It's a love child.
Love
Like,
child gets
what is
thrown
that?
around a lot
Well,
these
you know,
days, and
when it's complicated between mom and dad, you know, then it's just the love child.
well, that's a bastard child,
he
isn't
does,
it?
He does leave town. Tom Atkins does leave town on Halloween 3. He leaves 2 kids who he's, you know, recently divorcing his ex-wife. He leaves his 2 kids and bails on them to search for a killer with a supposed, like, who he thinks is a very good-looking lady whose father just died. So he goes and he shares a hotel room with her to take advantage of this young woman who's in mourning. So Tom Atkins and them have a love child.
Jesus.
Told you love this movie. That's where House of the Dragon got the ideas.
She was in mourning. It makes God like this.
What is this, like Wedding Crashers, where he's picking up the people from the funeral?
When he's like, she was in mourning. And Chaz, no, man, I'm done with weddings. I've been going to funerals.
Oh my
Like,
God.
oh, no.
Your knowledge of this movie is really amazing.
I feel
I'm
like
not even joking.
I feel like if we're going to talk about the granddaughter becoming, if that were the case, like she kept the mask, there's a pretty drastic difference between a dude that's like 6'6", 6'7", you know, walking around with his mechanics, you know, jumpsuit on, versus, you know, a 5'7", 5'8" granddaughter wearing the mask, which at this point is thoroughly charred and really beat up. But I feel like the intimidation factor of having somebody, well, your size, Joe, walking around with the mask on, and then look, this is nothing against females. They can be mass murderers too. So don't come at me like that. But is a 5'7" Michael Myers mask wearing killer intimidating to you, Joe?
I mean, anything's intimidating to me. I mean, have you seen the new Hellraiser? I mean, that woman's pretty damn intimidating.
That's fair.
This is true.
Somebody did ask a question here in the chat, and I'll just throw it out there before we get too deep into the to the Halloween talk. They wanted to know if you're returning to the ring anytime soon, and if you are, where can they see you? If you got any dates coming up.
So like, I think I'm going to be the new Captain Howdy.
Oh, he's doing the spoilers, folks.
God damn.
Yes, I wrestle, and I'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana this coming up Saturday for Heroes and Legends.
Nice.
So everyone be there.
Are you the hero or the legend? I'm assuming the legend.
You had a match pretty recently with one of my favorites, Jerry the King Lawler. Any memories from that match recently?
I had a couple. It was supposed to be a singles match. I was doing just fine, and it was made into a tag match involving this guy that paid me money to be in the match, who I didn't even know, and his manager, who I had no idea who the kid was. And my manager lost. And I was mad.
As you should.
So I beat him up too. And I told Jerry, I was like, "You're lucky this turned into a tag match, because it wouldn't have went over too well for you."
I was just wondering how many potatoes he gave you.
Gosh, how old is Jerry now? Is he a young 70, right?
I don't know. Quinn, how old are you? You guys are close, man.
Yeah, we're pretty close. I was down in Memphis about the same time he was. I taught him how to take the strap down and deliver the big punch. So
he is 72 years young, about to be 73 next month.
He's still going. He's still going at it. Actually, there are quite a few legends still in the ring. Bob Orton was wrestling.
No way.
Come on.
Bob?
The Powers of Pain.
Oh,
wow.
Bushwhacker Luke.
I saw him down in Kenosha. That was pretty fun.
Bob Orton, 71.
Gosh, they're still trucking. I can't believe that.
yeah, still doing it.
Good for them.
Shane Douglas and Pitbull had a dog collar match.
Shane is still wrestling too?
Yeah.
Well, this is a regular Super Show.
no kidding.
Where was this one at again?
Chillicothe, Ohio.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The sprawling metroplex that it is.
You guys shake your heads as if you know where that is.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
I was there last weekend.
You take that left at Albuquerque that Bugs Bunny was always talking about.
It's about an hour from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I know where that's at.
That helps.
Well, that is. It's by the Hershey factory. They have Chocolate World out there.
Well, yeah, you said you've been to Hershey.
I used to have to do some work out
You know,
that
it's all
way.
about chocolate.
Yeah,
That's
he's all
right.
about that chocolate.
That and the there was a bar just down the road in Harrisburg, the Warwick. It always reminded me of when this was the symbol for it. They'd always throw up the Wisconsin W's for it, so a little bit of a connection there. Anyhow,
Did
I
you
digress.
drink a lot of chocolate beer?
No, I didn't. It was usually on the company, so I would really go for something real expensive.
Yeah,
usually
chocolate
whiskey and steaks.
Whiskey, steaks, bourbon.
Somebody else paying for this? Yeah, give me the good
I'll take
stuff.
the 96er.
Oh, I got to pay for it? Oh, ramen noodles.
Quinn, what kind of whiskey?
Jim Beam, the best on earth.
Oh, boy.
And you go with the expensive stuff. Look at the Jim Beam.
Got any Kessler back there while you're at it?
Hey, go knocking the Jimmy. All right.
Oh, my God.
We know that you're. I'm going to swing back to the horror here, Joe. With the horror, we know that you're really into the classic horror. Let's say, what has been some of your favorite over the last couple years? Has there been anything that kind of grabbed you?
Over the last couple of years?
Yeah, for horror.
I don't know. Like it all kind of like every time I think I see something good, like I remember like there was this HBO Max one that came out, Malignant, with I don't want to give a spoiler away, but it's kind of hard not to. But she had like two personalities, and it ended up being an evil conjoined twin that was attached to her.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. Yeah, a lot of people. There was a handful of requests that we see that one. I know the guys just did The Conjuring. Have you seen The Conjuring?
Yeah, those are good. Those are good. Like I know I got really into like Heredity was one, Midsummer, the guy who did those. Remember Robert Eggers, he did the Witch a few years back. So like I've liked a lot of those ones.
Nice. Yeah, I know we got a lot of requests to do some stuff in the whole Conjuring universe, which I think we're still trying to plan all that out.
Number 2 is coming.
But yeah, number 2 is coming. But boy, that first one was a real surprise. And like I said, the only thing I knew about it, and we kind of talked about this earlier, was the Warrens from some of the work they did on some of the reality shows on TV with ghost hunting and ghost adventurers and Paranormal State, which I didn't know that the guy who ran that show was a total flim flam man and like had all these scams going and stuff. Somebody in the comments enlightened me to that. And I'm like, oh, I hadn't heard about the guy for like 10 years.
That a guy running a Paranormal Activity TV show was involved in scams.
I mean, like bad stuff.
Isn't it possible that could have been a ghost?
It is
So
possible.
A guy running a paranormal TV show was a scam artist. Shocking.
Well, somebody is saying 2 is plenty for Conjuring, so maybe that's all we'll do is that.
Yeah, maybe that's where it ends. Absolutely.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
Joe, are you somebody who believes in ghosts and paranormal activity and that sort of thing?
I believe in some sort of entities, and you know, I've seen like shadows and heard noises. You can't, you know, like been places that I feel a presence. Would I go as far as saying that I completely believe in everything? No. I always try to think of a logical explanation for things that happen. But sometimes there is none. Sometimes the door slams in your face and there's no wind. Sometimes your TV turns on full blast and no one's in the living room. So, like, I don't know. Sometimes there's things that are unexplained that you can't explain. And, you know, I'm sure you guys seen weird lights in the sky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
UFOs.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little different story now.
No, because you can say UFO because they are an unidentified flying object. That doesn't necessarily mean aliens. It can
also be orbs of spirits.
Orbs of spirits.
There's that.
Yeah. I just thought someone was getting the ladle of the Big Dipper and just moving it around for their soup.
Did you just?
What's the difference between lights in your house as opposed to lights in the sky?
Well, the ones in my house are powered by electricity and an on and off switch, I guess.
The ones in the sky are big balls of fire.
Because people see orbs in their house, like lights and flashes that move. People also see the stuff out in the sky. It's not necessarily a UFO.
Well, yeah,
what do they always say? What they say, like weather balloon? They would say weather balloon.
It's that Red Bull guy
or government thing, and like Iron Man. They would always say.
I'm just saying, there's lots of weird crap out there. You know, I did a report once when I was young because I was into this weird paranormal stuff, and one was all about spontaneous human combustion.
That's now that's one that would interest a lot of people.
Did you have to look through a bunch of microfiche to get all that? If it had been done a long time ago.
This
Just
guy,
say.
Sarika H, you just read my mind. Scrub your eyes hard, and you see orbs. Like you go like this, I can see a galaxy like 10 light years away. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good.
I see
point.
orbs when I have a good night of drinking.
You know, the other one that we got a lot of requests for, and if you guys have seen it, no spoilers, please, but I believe it's Haunting or The House on Haunting Hill or something like that.
That's probably coming too, because there was a ton of requests that rolled in for that. So we're going to try to make it fit somehow for November.
Yeah, I think that's another one we're going to jump into. Have you seen that one yet, Joe? Any
Is that the television series?
Yeah, it's on Netflix, like 10 episodes.
Okay, so they have that one, and they also have The Haunting of Bly Manor. So there's two different shows. I haven't seen them yet.
Okay. All right. Well, you never know if you're in town. Maybe a guest reactor. Who knows?
Studio's always open to you.
The Halloween Kills one was a fun one with Joe here. So go check that out, folks. That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was our makeshift mobile studio we used on that one. That was outstanding.
I'm sure the car ride must have just been amazing. Diamond Dave bobbing and weaving, going as fast as he can.
Hey, we made it in 4 hours. I think
Dave
that's pretty
driving
good.
bad? No,
Not driving
bad. It's driving fast. There's a big difference. Big difference.
Hey, I'm glad you guys brought that up. Hey, Joe, all your years, wrestling and being around different people, who was the fastest driver you had, and who was the worst?
Oh man, the fastest driver.
Yeah, somebody who just doesn't care about speed limits whatsoever.
You.
That's only when I'm hungry.
We gotta get that pizza.
And as far as worst driver goes, it would have to be Aaron, Damian Sandow, the
Okay.
worst driver. But he purposely drove bad so he didn't have to drive.
Oh,
He felt
that's smart.
if he drove slow enough, or if he drove, like weaving enough, he would just figure people would say, "Oh, just let me do it," which worked because it was
the oldest trick in the book. I don't know how to do it right.
You guys better do it. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually
That's
brilliant.
the third time you almost killed us. I think we're done with you behind the wheel. Oh, well, I guess
Yeah, you'd never think that from Damian Sandow's character, and that he's so studious and very upright and perfect. You wouldn't expect him to be a reckless driver as one of his. That's excellent.
Oh my God.
Was the rule in the car, Joe, that everyone stays up, or was it, hey, the driver's got it, you guys get an hour? How'd that go?
No, everybody stays awake.
Otherwise, ribs happen, or
This guy used to sleep in the back of my Explorer all the time back in the day.
That was different. I worked an overnight shift.
oh, see,
Fair enough.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
I had to work overnight shift, and then he would give me a ride to the show. So I'd sleep for an hour or two just so I'd be awake enough to do the show, and then we'd go back.
Put you in your place.
Don't throw me under the bus.
Somebody, Alexiana, I'm saying that terrible. Alexiana G
Probably said that wrong. I'm
is
sorry.
saying I'm letting out my inner Dom Toretto, which I always try to do.
because it's but you're supposed to think about your family.
You don't fall asleep in a car when you're driving with family.
Never.
Is that who's the picture to your right?
Yeah, we got the Fast and the Furious poster up, as well as a Harry Potter, which we eventually have to get into at some point in this stream.
We
but
got a
having a lot of fun
super
right
chat.
Anything with 10 sequels is what you guys live for.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
They could have stopped at Tokyo Drift, the best one, but they kept going.
You got to keep the content going.
Real quick with the super chat here. Thank you, by the way.
Ganyu.
Ganyu, thank you very much. How much a guy got to donate for a Columbus 2017? I assume you're asking for a reaction when you say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what we can do.
We'll have to look
Columbus.
into it.
What is that?
I don't know. You're gonna have to kind of give some
Christopher
more.
Columbus.
Yeah, I mean that's a new one on me that I haven't heard.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of that. So you might have to give us some more explanation down here in the comments.
I see Blue Kayla 12 asks, "How come we have a studio? Because we worked very hard at it to build it." That's a lot of straight angles in that ones.
Is there heat in your studio? Because one of you guys looks very cold.
Oh, Dave's always cold. He's tiny, so look at him.
Oh, I was like,
Anything showing? Checking Quinn.
Oh, you're checking for nips.
Well,
he's got a white shirt on. I wasn't.
Well, what is
sure.
a full sweatshirt and a
I came down
neon
here,
hat, which somebody in the comments.
I haven't had any time to take anything off because this whole mess of a show of the OBS and YouTube screwing
He was
us.
getting hot in more ways than one.
Well, I know we got the Bad Medicine shirt. I'm still supporting here. And,
Yeah, there we go.
you know.
Well, hey, someone did comment and love your hat. I saw in the chat. So
Thank you, whoever sent that.
I think it was a
Where
while
is the
ago.
studio located? Eastern Central Wisconsin.
That's right. If you couldn't tell by our accents.
If here's
Am
Wisconsin,
I able to ask a question to you guys?
here's Wisconsin. There's where we are.
Can I ask a question of the Bad Medicine podcast?
You
Well,
betcha.
Of course,
Yes,
John.
Your
All
Honor, of
ears.
course.
I'm ready to be buried. Go ahead.
Or maybe this one's more to Quinn for my disappointment. Where is your female cast member?
We do not have any female cast members at this point. However, we are always looking. So you know how that goes.
There will be some collaborations coming down the pipeline here.
Yeah.
It's in the works.
Yep.
And there might be some that our subscribers may know of. I don't want to drop anything yet because I want it to somewhat be a surprise, but it's coming.
My fiance had joked. We had talked about doing. We talked about doing some chick flicks and stuff like that. And my fiance had joked about jumping in on one of the reactions. So
That'd be
we talked about maybe doing the Notebook. I've seen it. These guys haven't.
Have not
of
seen the
course he's
Notebook.
I have made it very clear that I think the mom in the Notebook is one of the top 5 most evil movie characters in the history of Hollywood.
My wife wants to do one with the ladies
Comedy,
again.
one of the most evil characters ever, also played by Kurt Russell, Overboard. How evil does this man have to be?
That's like
This
one of my
poor woman hits
favorites.
her head,
when you
and
coming
he
home?
makes her like his slave to his children.
Oh my God!
Oh, by the way, you're married to me.
It never bothered you before.
When you coming
And they
home?
ended up together at the end of the movie. He should end up in prison.
Well,
You bring
everything
up-
worked out.
You bring up some really great points, and you're not wrong.
Kurt
not
Russell's
wrong at all.
performance in Overboard is absolutely
it's top-notch.
legendary.
It's top-notch.
Legendary.
Hey, and cheers to Goldie Hawn, who had an awesome career too, by the way.
Yeah.
Just
Yep,
saying,
she's good
because she
in
was,
there
Oh
as
she was a
jeez!
rock
And,
star in that one, too.
then, well, obviously, then her kids too are rock stars with Oliver and Kate
Yeah.
Hudson doing great things as well. What can't that family do?
We'll see how their wine is, I suppose.
Oh, they have
That's
wine
right,
now
they got
too?
wine.
Yeah.
Jesus! All right, everyone's getting into alcohol.
Dauber jumped on in. There he is. Our good friend Nick Dobson.
Hey Joe, I know you and I talk a lot about John Carpenter and how much we like him. What's your top 3 John Carpenter movies?
Big Trouble in Little China's up there, man. So I was always into I could never choose between The Thing and The Fog.
Okay.
The Fog freaked me out more as a kid than The Thing. So I'm kind of iffy on those two. But then obviously They Live is a classic, and I watch it over and over again. But like what I love about John Carpenter and his movies is his soundtracks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always top
Oh
notch.
yeah, when we watched Halloween, that was pretty good.
Yep, it's legendary. Yeah, I'd agree right there with you. For me, They Live is number 1. I'd probably put Escape from New York in there, I think, number 2. And then, The Thing is so dang good. I really like that one too. So I'm right there with you.
So you said The Thing, Escape from New York, and The Thing.
No, They Live was number 1.
He didn't say that, did he? He didn't say that, guys.
I didn't. I can't.
Sometimes I just channel
Yeah,
these
I
guys
zoomed
out.
out. I was reading some of the comments. We don't
You
listen to
folks in
Quinn.
the comments see what I have to work with around here. It's amazing that this flying circus stays together, I tell you.
Oh, come on.
Joe, if you don't mind me asking, and feel free to say no comment. There are some
there's
comments
been a lot of
coming in.
questions.
There's comments coming in, and I'll just kind of generalize it. One was asking Is there any hints that you could potentially drop if you're coming back to the WWE? I reworded that. And also, of course, another one is we need Bray Wyatt, or we need Bray a part of this talk one day soon. Bring Eric back. Any comments on anything? Feel free to say no comment, of course.
Yeah, or any hints? I guess because the people want to know.
The people.
If there's any hints you can drop.
That's all about the people.
Yes, you heard it here, folks. I'll be back tomorrow. Wait, no. No comment. Wait, yes, no, maybe. What day is AEW on? No.
They're all over the map, AEW, so it's any given day, and then, WWE, if it happens, it happens. There you go, folks.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps out a little bit.
And I guess to kind of piggyback off that, there's been a lot of talk about the differences between the two companies. You obviously worked in WWE and NXT and that sort of thing, and had a couple of spots on AEW. What would you say were some of the biggest differences between the two companies?
Oh, man. They're just night and day. I guess production and one seems a little bit more rushed than the other. We'll say which one is which. No. let's just say it's good for fans to have options.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely.
Whether good or bad, it's what I like about the movies. There's options.
Agreed, and it provides more jobs for a lot more people. So, cheers to that.
Absolutely. Let's see. We had Mia Alyssa ask, what would be your favorite score from a movie? And she's got to say that Transformers and Harry Potter are in her top two. I mean, just right now thinking of it, the Halloween score, I think is, while it's not necessarily my favorite, I think it's one of the most iconic. Like, you hear those first couple of notes, you know exactly what it is.
That's not the question, though. She didn't ask what's iconic.
Yeah, I mean, you hear the. What are your favorite?
Well, then if I had to pick my favorite,
it'd be Rambo.
No,
Rambo 2.
Well, Rambo is good,
Rambo
but honestly,
6.
it would be
Rocky 7.
The intro to Casino Royale that Chris Cornell does is absolutely lights out stunning, and the world misses Chris Cornell, but that intro for Casino Royale is outstanding.
Really?
Let's kick it
Mine
to
would be Team America World Police.
America. That's a good one. That is great. It's like
I'm gonna sound really uneducated here, which I try not to do often. What's the difference between a score and a soundtrack? Is the score just one individual song?
the score. Is the actual
The score is all the songs that are in the movie that are sung by the cast, or like the background music you hear. Soundtrack is mostly like if you're watching Scream and on the radio comes a Nick Cave song.
So what would, like, if I'm gonna bring out like Rocky 4, and we're talking like War, the training montage, Hearts on Fire, and No Easy Way Out.
That would count.
Okay, yeah. Then it's that hands down. I mean, if it's like one song, I'm going with the Top Gun anthem, hands down.
Yeah.
But then Back to the Future is iconic.
Oh yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Like Quinn talks about
And they have all the songs by Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah, you talk about
he has
like
a cameo in
Halloween, the dun, 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 being iconic, dude. You hear the dun dun dun.
Everybody
the
knows.
first three notes in Back to the Future.
Another like a more recent one is like Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, because especially that beginning opening scene where when they showed how they did it, they actually rubbed a razor on the guitar to get that sound, get that high pitched sound, and just the way it keeps on climaxing until the final reveal of Joker's face. I mean, that's got to be up there as far as score.
Who said Hans Zimmer really quickly?
I did.
Oh,
Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave.
Okay, so Diamond Dave.
Oh boy,
who did the Back to the Future one? I know his name. I just want to see if you know it.
Wait, say it one more time. I was talking.
Okay, you know Hans Zimmer did the Batman, Dark Knight one. Who did Back to the Future's score?
Back to the Future.
Oh, is it John Williams?
Alan.
Fick?
Sylvester. Alan Silvestre.
Ah,
I remember
yep, seen
seeing
the
that
name.
now. Yeah, because he that name reminds me of the Avengers score. He was part of that too.
As a kid, I had all the cassette tapes to Back to the Future.
Oh, nice.
So Gina Elliott
that's a
said
good one too, Joe.
score is made by an orchestra. Soundtracks or songs that already exist that they put into the movie.
Okay.
Although
Team America World Police,
Well, that was made by them.
that was made by them. So does that count as a score? Because if you're watching a Broadway hit, like that's the score to the songs from the hit, is it not?
That's a fair question. I don't think I have the answer to that.
I don't know.
Oh, that's fair.
Pepin, who I say Pepin, Star Wars. How did we iconic
Star Wars.
scores?
Star
up there.
Wars.
And then even
how did we leave out Star Wars?
Interstellar that we just watched.
Yep.
Because that actually had a good score as
Yeah,
well.
Hans Zimmer
I
did
liked
that.
Interstellar, but nobody's going to hear a song. Nobody's going to ever hear the theme song. It's the Interstellar theme song. Now, it was brilliant. I will agree with you on that. But like Star Wars and Back to the Future and
Indiana
Halloween,
Jones, of course.
Indianapolis
So
Jones.
Jaws.
Dave, what else did Hans Zimmer do?
Jaws.
He didn't do Jaws, but
I was
he
saying
did
Jaws.
Pirates of the Caribbean. He did, of course, The Dark Knight. He
Yep.
did Man of Steel, which is iconic. And speaking of Henry Cavill, welcome back. Not even they can't even keep that hidden for like a week.
No.
You know,
Story.
God, his list is long. There's more obviously that I'm just not naming.
Gladiator,
Gladiator.
Inception, Interstellar.
Oh.
I have not seen Gladiator, so I wouldn't know that one.
You've never
Superman
seen
theme, John
Gladiator?
I've never
Williams.
seen Gladiator. I
With
don't
Russ-
like those. Well, I
With
should say I
Russell
don't like
Crowe.
those.
You've never seen Gladiator with Russell Crowe.
Dude, I don't get into those kind of movies, but I would for the channel if that's what people want to watch. But
Don't get into what kind of movies exactly.
the movies from dude, I don't care for westerns. I don't care for any kind of gladiator stuff. But I have to keep more of an open mind like you with Harry Potter and all this other stuff. So
That's
if it
what
does
I've
end
Ever
up
seen
happening,
Unforgiven?
nope. The most western I've watched was
Back to the Future 3.
well, maybe that, and then Young Guns. That's it for westerns.
Who's your favorite Western character? Mad Dog Tannen?
No, Clint Eastwood in Back to the Future
Emmett
3.
Brown back in 1884.
It's Buford, Mad Dog. Tannen.
Buford.
Yeah.
I hate that name.
Mad Dog Tannen.
Manure. I hate manure.
Well, you never know. We might have to do You've seen Gladiator, right? Answer.
Oh, it's great. I used to smell the dirt before a football game.
All right, we'll see. I don't know how much fun it would be to do.
But
it
I also
only
haven't
one
seen
of
it since I was a freshman.
Okay, Simon Rasmussen. If you could only celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's Eve, and you had to pick one, which one? That's a good random question.
Oh, easy. Christmas.
We'll let our guest
Joe, why don't you
go
start off with
first.
You
that
got
one.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, or New Year's. Which one are you going to celebrate? Pick one.
I'll just stick with the winter solstice of December 22nd.
That's my birthday, Joe.
Winter solstice.
I'll celebrate everything that day, and we'll have a good time.
Oh, Jurassic Park score. Also awesome. Yes.
And Pepin, I'm right there with you. The Formula One theme is my alarm clock to wake me up in the morning. So I'm a huge fan of that one as well.
Boy. Thanksgiving's
What does
pretty.
that
Thanksgiving's
sound like?
pretty excellent.
What was that, Joe?
What does that theme sound like? When
Yeah, give us some notes.
What, you want me to hum it?
Yeah.
You can just look
No.
up. It's Brian
No. You make the noise.
who does the
you got a
score.
phone, you have a phone right on you, don't you?
I do. In the meantime, the holiday I would keep would be Thanksgiving.
Good to know, Mia.
That'd be mine.
Mia's favorite Western is also Back to the Future.
Real quick back to that
Mine is
question
Tombstone.
you asked Oak with the Christmas and Thanksgiving. For me, it'd be Christmas because you still get the feast and you get the presents,
And it's close to your birthday, so you get double the presents.
and I get double.
That's a good point. Normally, you have a good meal on Christmas. God, when I was younger, I probably would say New Year's, but now New Year's is kind of like,
Airs.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much anymore.
it's great.
We got Elisa. Joseph is literally a politician. Never says yes or no with a bunch of smiley faces.
Never say never. That's what you got to be.
Big
Exactly.
thumbs up.
I noticed the whole time too. He wasn't pointing. He was using his thumbs while he was pointing at us.
Well, that's how you got to do it.
That's how you do it.
Well, you got with Halloween coming up and being the big horror movie fan that you are you guys going to be going out doing any kind of trick or treating? Are you going to be handing out Halloween at the house? What's your plan? There, Joe.
You know, it's weird because you say what's everybody's doing, and then you're just like looking straight ahead. It's so odd. I'm like looking at you. Like, where's the screen that I'm on?
You're over there. Our camera's here.
Yeah, our camera's there for us.
Aren't you on our live feed?
You're over there.
Like I said, this Saturday I'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana for Heroes and Legends. I think the Good Godfather's there.
Awesome.
And I think he's doing a photo op as Papa Shango as well. But yes, I think that Sunday, me and the wife will be going out to a haunted house, a series of 7 of them out by my house. And then come Halloween, we'll be handing out candy to the kiddos.
There you go.
And I promise, you come to our house and I will not wear random masks. And
I am willing to
King
think that's
size.
not a guarantee.
There's king size. He'll be handing out.
politician guarantee. Read my lips.
Just kids
No
showing
scary
up to his
masks.
front door, just scared shit.
That's like you come to the door, you're already like pushing 7 feet, and then you're wearing a mask on top. I'd be running for the hills.
Well, the fog machine so they can't see me walking.
Yeah.
That'd
Big
be
entrance
perfect.
going to the door.
There's a house down the road from mine where every Halloween they really get into it, and the people that live there, the husband, I assume, dresses up like Michael Myers, and they have a boombox going with the music, and they have a fog machine, and he just stands there as Michael Myers, waiting for the kids to come up and get the candy. And the number of kids that won't even go up to the house because he's just standing there is always fun to watch. It's always a good time when you can scare the kids.
So Gwen, you just sit outside with a bonfire going on, having a beer, watching the neighbors.
No, actually, I'm one of the most. I'll have you know, I'm one of the most generous houses for Halloween. At my previous job, like I said, we did a lot of work with Hershey's, so they would send us pallets of chocolate.
Did you notice?
I'd be there handing out full-size, king-size bars.
Did you notice that he got it for free?
Given to you for free.
Because usually the treat he gives him is a door in the face.
He's like, I am the most generous. I get free chocolate.
And I give it away to everybody.
It's like
Robin Hood.
I'm gonna be like,
Steal from the. No, wait, never mind. I got it for free, so it's not stealing, but give to the kid.
I'm gonna be handing out flank steak and chicken. Here you go, kid. Here's some organic chicken. Like, what were you doing
nothing
that
but
for?
king-size bars over at the Mason Quinn household for sure.
Boy. Kids are going to be coming back in 2 separate costumes, trying to get
as
get
much
the
as they
full-size
want.
candy bars.
So did you
Absolutely.
get free candy bars this year?
What's that?
Did you get free candy bars this year?
No, I think
So note
the
to
free
self,
candy
you're
I'll
in the
have this year
neighborhood
will be.
He had to open
Please
the
do not
vice.
Stop by Quinn's house because he will not be giving out king-size candy bars. Way to hype yourself up.
It'll still be candy, but it'll also be toilet
Misshapen.
paper this year, given my day job.
You'll be like, hey, mister, last year we got full-size candy bars. What happened? Sorry, kid. This house sucks.
Hey, this sticker's already has a bite out of it. Well, just take it and run along, kid.
Gwen, did you just say you're going to give out toilet paper?
I do. The company that I work for now makes machines that makes toilet paper.
Adam Sandler for free.
Don't let Quinn deceive you. He has that toilet paper because he was one of the toilet paper hoarders.
Oh,
You
was
give out
not.
hand sanitizer too?
I do not. That wasn't me,
You
folks.
got a garage full of it, which is why they're not filming in his garage.
We're gonna get taken down for false information. Spreading lies.
Did she say my laugh is soothing? What? Oh,
You're the one.
thank you very much.
Yeah, see, something to be said.
I don't think the fiance ever says that either.
Ooh, to the mini candy bars. Well, hey, sometimes mini candy bars are good, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can have 1 or 10 of them.
Yeah.
Does anybody else get towards the end of the night and like it's about to be over and like, okay, I got 2 options here, right? Like I can keep handing out one mini candy bar to all these kids. I'm gonna have a giant dish done for myself, and then I know like I'm trying to mitigate my caloric intake. Or do you just when the last kid comes, here you go, kid.
It's all yours.
Oh yeah, you have the candy bars. You're really thinking about caloric intake.
Joe, are you a save it for yourself type person, or at the end of the night, are you getting overly generous to clear out your candy stores?
Start giving out generous handfuls.
Start throwing them. Absolutely.
Hey, go along, kid, and then slam the door so
10
you keep the
minutes in,
candy
he's
for
like,
yourself.
you know what? Just take this.
There you go.
Take that.
We bought way too much. Yep.
We usually have little baggies with multiple candy bars for each kid.
Yeah, I kind of want to just put the dish out on the porch thing, and just that lasts for the first 3 kids.
Yeah, that would have not lasted if I was a kid trick or treating or an adult.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't act like you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is anybody looking?
Hopefully the nest isn't looking at me right now.
Has any of us seen the new Hocus Pocus 2 film?
I have not.
Have
I
have not even seen the first one.
I gotta be honest. Like I watched parts of it. Like I've watched parts of the first one and parts of the second one, and it was pretty hard for me to just like whatever. I was kind of in and out. There was a funny story on the news. A lady in Texas was talking about how Hocus Pocus 2. This goes back to our paranormal stuff. If you're watching Hocus Pocus 2, you don't know that the spells they're casting on the movie aren't coming through your TV screen, and they're casting spells on your children through the screen. So if you are watching Hocus Pocus 2 at home with children around, just be careful, because there's a woman in Texas, a middle-aged woman in Texas, telling you that spells are coming through your screen.
So it's just like Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. The stuff's coming through the TV.
Was that what the plot with Season of the Witch was?
That stuff coming through the TV.
That's only
different
which movies he watches is Halloween 3
Absolutely.
or The Witcher.
Yep.
And that doesn't
With-
involve
with
a
Henry-
witch.
with Henry,
because
Cavill?
Cavill, who's now going to be Superman again. Thoughts?
People have been saying that with the show Supernatural, that they're casting spell. Telling you got to be careful. They'll get you right through the TV screen.
Looks like we got a request in there for us to watch Twilight.
The Twilight movies will be coming. I know Joe just probably loves to hear that.
Well, he's
Twilight
probably
movies-
seen them all.
Twilight movies are coming to Patreon in the beginning of December. For YouTube, it'll probably be mid to late December. So they are coming, folks. I know that's been a highly requested one, too.
Team Edward.
He's already
Team Jacob.
with Big Rob.
Who's that?
I don't know who either one of them are, but I'm just saying
Is
that.
Edward Pattinson?
It's Edward
is
and
Robert
Jacob. That's what
Edward
I
is
was
Robert Pattinson. Joe, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Team Bella.
Team Bella.
I just want her happy.
I just want
I just want her to be happy.
That's awesome.
It's like we had a movie that really surprised a lot of us when we watched it. It was The Maze Runner, and
Yeah.
people wanted to get a little bit of our thoughts on that. Joe, have you ever seen any of the Maze Runner movies by any chance?
Yeah, they were interesting.
Okay, yeah, because for us, they caught me out of left field and totally blew, I think, all of us away with how good they were, and it was just weird not having seen them before or them getting a lot of publicity. So I thought they were just outstanding.
I'm still mad about Chuck.
Yeah,
I'm
especially
not
the
happy
first
with
one.
Teresa.
Yeah, no, I thought the Maze Runners, if you saw our reactions, I thought they were pretty incredible. I like that concept of, it was like this post-apocalyptic setting where they mixed a bunch of different things. You had post-apocalyptic, you had like major, like almost like the movie Outbreak, where there's this major medical emergency that they're scrambling to
And you
find
watch them turn.
a cure to. It was it had like Lord of the Flies vibe at first, with a bunch of younger guys stuffed in the middle of nowhere and trying to survive together. So it was a very dynamic movie, and I thought it was going to be like Hunger Games Light or something like that, or like knockoff. But it was a
they
very
came out
unique
around the
movie.
same time, so you thought it was just them piggybacking on it. Like when Armageddon came on, then so did Deep Impact. You're like, they're just piggybacking.
But no, they definitely fit every type of genre into that movie that you could, even including the train scene from Fast Five. They had that in there too.
Chuck wouldn't have survived in the real world.
Oh my
Teresa
God.
wasn't anybody's favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
So part 3 drops tomorrow morning, folks. So check that out.
Oh, look at that. Good
And,
timing.
Somebody was asking, it was a while back on the chat, so I didn't catch the name, but they wanted to know, Joe, if you had any movies or TV shows that you wanted us to check out for the channel. Anything jump out at you?
Yeah, you guys can check out Ghosts of the Ozarks, available now. You guys should watch that. It's kind of a Western themed movie I was in with Tim Blake Nelson and David Arquette. You guys should watch it.
Well, then Diamond Dave won't watch it. It's a Western.
It's a Western.
Well, you're in it. You're in it. I'll watch it.
So you already lost one of the 4 of us.
You heard it
There
here,
goes a
folks.
quarter.
Check out Ghosts of the Ozarks. Maybe we'll see about doing it for the channel. That'd
I
be a
got to
lot
get
of fun.
that. You said there was a link for your short film, right? I should get that quick.
Yeah, for TW.
I think I'll find it.
It's on the if you go to my Instagram, it's right on the bio.
Best movie of the Fast and Furious series. Was it Fast Five where they hooked up the safe and were pulling it through town? Yeah. The one where the Rock's first appearance was in Fast Five.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Rock just showed look, the Rock had been jacked in a lot of movies, right? But they gave him a little bit of they put him on an extra 6 weeks of the Marvel diet for or the DC diet.
He was always sweating. Always sweating.
He was always all oiled up. Yeah, but Fast Five was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Which one is yours, Joe?
Part 2.
Too Fast, Too
Less
Furious?
Vin Diesel, but
Where's my answer armband? I have the answer
Part two,
armband.
didn't part 2? Isn't that
That was with Tyrese.
Yeah,
but
it's in
isn't that
Miami.
the least popular of?
No, that's usually Tokyo
Usually
Drift.
people would say
yeah,
Tokyo
Part 2
Drift.
was great.
Yeah.
Part 2 was great. I think it's very underrated.
Was it part 2 where they did the? I don't know whether they were interrogating the guy and they did the rat in the bucket with the
Yeah.
sort of thing.
It was. And I'm going to say this right now. They asked a question about what movie you guys should watch. I was doing a shameless plug there if you didn't catch that, Quinn. I mean, I know you're a little, takes you a little bit to get things and get caught up. But Paul Walker was in a movie called Running Scared.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Haven't seen
So
that.
that would be the one I would say to watch on your channel. It was years ago, but it was a fantastic movie.
Yep.
Another that was a good one, underrated of his was it Brick Mansions?
Brick Mansions. And
That was a good one too.
the one where he was in the hospital was really good too. I can't think of it, but
Varsity
We just
Blues.
had a Joshy boy. I just tuned in. Did we touch on Harry Potter yet? No, we've been talking with
Our boy Joe here.
with Joe here, talking about Halloween movies and things like that. So we haven't jumped into any Potter discussion. Joe, have you seen the Harry Potter movies or read the books at all?
I mean, what all counts as Harry Potter? I mean, you have 1 through the Deathly Hallows, and then you got that new prequel stuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, well,
And
someone
I think
asked
when we
prior
talk
about
when we
4
talk
and 5.
Potter, I think we like the Fantastic Beasts movies, but I think Potter, we're talking about just the first 7 books, 8 movies.
I've seen them, and I like The Prisoner in Azkaban probably the best.
Oh, nice.
That one was good.
Okay.
Look at you.
Prisoner of Azkaban was good. I think Order of Phoenix might have been my favorite, but we were really surprised by them. We had a poll out and people voted, and I got my reaction was like, oh, all 8? Like, are you kidding? But we're in for it because we made a commitment for the channel. And the first few I had a hard time with, and then they kind of started getting better and better. And it was actually Prisoner of Azkaban, the third one, that really turned it around for me. So it's funny that you say Prisoner of Azkaban, because that was the one for me where I kind of started really getting hooked. I thought that was a good one.
now, did you go see the Potter movies in the theater, Joe, or were you able just to watch them like on HBO Max or something and binge through them all and not have to wait?
I think I watched them all in theaters.
Wow.
Oh, so you got
good work.
the theater
So,
experience.
ladies and gentlemen, a hardcore Potterhead himself, Joseph Ruud. Things you find out about your friends until you do a live stream. I guess.
Were you wearing one of the masks during the Halo and scaring all the kids in the theater? Mommy, what is he watching this? Wrong theater.
Why is there a monster in the theater with us?
I was a Hagrid fan.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
we all were.
we
Rest in
all
peace,
were a
Robbie.
Hagrid fan.
You know, Mia Alyssa brought up, she said, I just started the first Harry Potter book today. I always end up watching the movies first and then the book. So I did that as well. So I did the audio. And for those of you asking, I'm almost finished with Goblet of Fire on the books. I got the first few books cranked out fast. And then with my work schedule and stuff, it's been a little bit slower. So I'm just about done with Goblet of Fire for the audio books. We're going to actually do my audiobook reviews as live streams, and Dave
Hopefully.
yeah, hopefully.
Dave's like-
But that was kind of the plan that we
Ready to
had
grab a
talked about.
sledgehammer.
Because if we do the audiobook reviews and the three of us sit down and I just talk about it, you know, there's going to be questions in the comments and things like that. And to reply to those, you know, of course we can do that. But we thought it would be fun to do the audiobook reviews live. But what I was going to say to Mia Alyssa is that I actually am glad that I did the movies first and then the books. And the reason why for me, even for the audiobook, is as and I'm doing the American versions, it's John Dahl, I believe is the guy's name who's reading him. But as he's reading, and he does different voices for each of the characters, but as he's reading it, I now picture the movie character in my head when he's doing the voice. So when you start by just reading the books, of course, they give descriptions and you kind of in your own head, and a lot of people might think that's fun because you kind of have your own, you know, image of what they look like. But for me, listening to the audiobooks and saying, you know, Harry looked like this and, you know, Hagrid looked like this and Snape looked like this, like I had the movie picture. So I got the detail of the book while still having this visual image of the movies. So I think normally the order of things for people is, of course, to do the books and then the movies. But in the case where, you know, where there's so much attention to people's physical appearance and that plays a big part of the story, having that image in my head going through the audiobooks, I think helped me get into the audiobooks a lot more than I would had I started with the books.
Absolutely. Yeah, the movie kind of sets the tone for you a little bit. You kind of know what you're getting.
And the other thing about doing that is that I think everybody agrees with almost everything that the books are always better than the movie, right? And so when you watch the movie first and you love the movie and then you go back and listen to the audiobooks, then you're getting, it's like the extended version, right? It's like, oh, they didn't talk about this and this is different. And so it's really, it was exciting for me. And it's a weird term to use, but it was exciting for me to do the audiobooks after because you're getting extra content where so many times if you do the books first, you have to understand for movies, they have to do adaptations. You have to squeeze it into that 2.5, 3 hour time period. And so you're always getting stuff that's going to fall on the cutting room floor. So it's like this extra little treat to do the movies first and then come back and do the books.
Double back to it.
You didn't read the books though, Joe, did you?
No.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't read?
No. Was that the
I'm different. If I don't read the book first, I won't go back and read it after the movie because it'll just ruin it for me.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, interesting.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I know we're getting some Transformer questions.
Yes.
So I have seen the first 4. I think there's 5.
I don't even know how many there
I definitely didn't see the ones with Wahlberg at all.
Okay, I think I only saw the first 2, I think.
Yeah, the first 2 was Shia.
Yeah, I think that's all I saw. But it's been so long. This is how long ago I saw Transformers. I bought the original Transformers on DVD from the Blockbuster video that was in our town. That's how long that I had it for.
You just brought up Blockbuster Video.
Yeah.
He's I've the Transformers, I liked them. I think I've seen all of them. And then the one with, I don't know if it was the one with Mark Wahlberg where spoiler alert. You know what? The one where they like went back in time, and the one with Anthony Hopkins. I don't want to ruin it for these guys. And if I say what they did in the movie, it's going to ruin it. And if we do it on the channel, I don't want to do that. But the one with Anthony Hopkins and the back in time story, they lost me. So I liked the earlier Transformers, but man, they went out way out in left field. So yeah, Blockbuster Video. Yeah, he's really aged. There is one I did see on I think it was Instagram the other day. There is still one Blockbuster Video standing someplace.
Yeah, and that's just going to always stay standing. They even just had a special on Netflix, which is ironic that Netflix has a documentary on Blockbuster, because at one point I guess Netflix was going to buy Blockbuster. Now I can't talk. But it's all part of the documentary that at one point they were going to merge, and then they said it wasn't enough in the final hour.
Yeah,
now that guy's kicking cans.
See, me, Alyssa, yeah. So they know what y'all know what I'm talking about with that last Transformers movie. It was like, all right, guys, whose idea was this shit? So.
Are all four of us going to be reacting to Narnia? That's pretty much up to Diamond Dave if he can get out of the editing studio and make it for those.
So when it comes to the franchises, the reason why you haven't seen me as much is because I do a lot in the background for this channel. So I'm not able yet to be a part of almost everything. So I do cherry pick on what I can be there for. The franchise movies that we've been doing, I removed myself from because I won't be able to make a commitment to be there for every single one. So that's why these three definitely got to carry that for all y'all. Otherwise, Narnia, they are starting tomorrow on Patreon, which in about 2 weeks or so, give or take. Actually, maybe next 2 weeks or less. That'll be coming to YouTube if you're not on Patreon.
Oh, someone really wants you to be there.
We'll list me as doubtful, but you never know.
All right. So I now figured out that Sarika H is Diamond Dave because they just put DD as our hero. So that has got to be a burner account. I see him typing over there.
Dave's over here on his phone on our burner account.
Just hear it under the table.
I have Joe helping me out over there.
The guy with the neon hat is so handsome.
We missed that neon hat.
You know, another one that we've had a lot of requests for, and Joe, I'm curious if you've seen this one. Have you seen any Peaky Blinders? That's one we've had a lot of requests for.
Gasp.
Too many seasons in.
Yeah, you know, that kind of happens, isn't it? Like if a show, it's rolled so far and it's got so many seasons, it's almost hard to jump back into it and to start from season one. You know, it'd be like if you were to say, hey, have you watched The Walking Dead? There's only 11 seasons to do. You'll power through it, problem.
It's a major commitment. You know, I tried watching Peaky Blind. Everybody's like, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. And I'm like, I can't understand a damn word of what these guys are saying. I just couldn't get into it. And that people were joking. I had some friends say, you got to watch it with the subtitles on. You got to watch it with the subtitles on. But I'm like, wait, what? Like what? Like if I have to rewind this show like 5 times in the first 10 minutes, like I don't understand what they said.
Then it's a homework assignment.
Yeah. So, but
well, that's how I felt about like some of the movies, like because we watched, you know, like RRR and KGF and everywhere. What was our favorite one? Parasite. Yep. But it's like after 10 minutes, you just get used to reading it so that it gets easier.
But the thing about,
I'm assuming that there's like a mind.
The thing about those movies, it's different watching a movie that's in another language and that the subtitles are just the English that you get. It's another thing when they're speaking English, but you can't understand the English they're speaking. So I was over in the UK at the end of September for work in Birmingham. I was there for 4 days, and there is a professional bodybuilder that I'm friends with, and I'm friends with a handful of professional bodybuilders from the UK. And one of them, I'm not sure what part of the UK he's from. I know he speaks English, but I can't understand a word he says. Now I have another good friend he's from Wales. He's from Wales, and you can understand him very clearly. It's your typical, you know, British accent. But this guy I can't understand, and it's kind of what it reminds me of is, you know, when you know somebody's speaking English and you're still like, I can't understand what you're saying. that gets
tough.
me.
Here's one to show that you guys can definitely understand. Mayor of Kingstown, featuring our man here. So if you have Paramount Plus, definitely check that out.
Mayor of Kingstown. And hey, I know you got to run here, Joe. I just want to throw one more question at you that we had from somebody in the chat here before you take off for us. They wanted to know what your favorite era of wrestling was.
Same with favorite era of action horror movies in the 1980s.
All right. That's what I was thinking.
Nice.
All right. Well, hey, Joe, it's been a lot of fun having you on, despite the fact that you had the golden shovel to bury me with. As always, the guys had a lot of fun. I hope everybody in the comments had a good time with it.
Hopefully
Thank
you can read someday.
Thank you so much, Joe, for sticking with us through the technical difficulties and everything.
Thank you.
And we will hopefully be with you again here on the channel.
And hopefully everybody enjoys these four talking for the next 6 hours. That's all I get to go, right?
Hey, make sure you plug your stuff. If you got anything you want the folks to check out, let them know before you take off.
Just plug in at Eric Redbeard and Instagram, Twitter. Check out all my links there below. You can watch what are you pointing at?
Don't worry about it. All right.
I got your Instagram and Twitter below. So that's what I'm pointing at. That's right.
If you're watching the live stream, you would know.
Here.
To your right. Point to your right.
Twitter.
Yeah, point. Yeah, you're
There
right.
you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Twitter.
There you go.
Right.
It's like you've worked with big production companies before.
Yeah, I probably should have gave you a heads up, like, hey, we got your icons and stuff on the right of you.
Oh.
If you want to watch the short film Tito, go to my Instagram and you'll see the link in the bio. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Joe. Really
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Ruud, Eric Redbeard.
Rude.
See you in the next one. These guys.
You know,
Nice.
I'm wondering if I'm going to be making Botchmania because I realized halfway through that I had a spelling error on his name and I had 2 D's, not 2 U's. So it just adds to the whole frustration of this night with how
that would be
everything went
great
for
if we
us.
were on Botchmania. It would be seen by plenty of people.
It is.
Oh, we're going to have that view, Dave?
Which one?
You had the view.
Keep talking. Yeah, keep talking.
I had the view of just you.
Guys. So this was a lot of fun in the comments and everything, and we'll probably take a few minutes here and dive into some of the other things that I think we had planned for the live stream. But let's all do Joe a favor. Go check out Tito. Go check out his socials. Let's flood the internet. Let's have this guy come in and maybe get involved with something going on with the Wyatt family or AEW. You never know. Folks, let the people know what you want.
All right. Somebody had
sing his praises.
Well, that was a strange close-up Diamond Dave. Wait, what?
There we go.
Everything Diamond Dave does is a little strange.
Oh, come on.
What is Lee Irby saying? I think after Walking Dead, there's going to be a series focusing on Rick and Michonne. Is that correct, guys?
That is very correct, and that'll come in late 2023.
And just real quick, talking about The Walking Dead, since you brought it up, and maybe some other folks in the comments maybe feel the same way. Do you guys think that this year that there's so much less tension about what's going to happen to our characters because they already announced the spin-offs with the very characters that are on the show that are in danger? Your Ricks, your Michonnes, your Negans, your Maggies. We pretty much know they're going to be fine no matter what happens. And it really, I think, hurts the show. What do you guys think? Go ahead and let us know.
Well, could you think of it maybe as being a prequel? Because, I mean, with like Rick, he disappeared, didn't he, after whatever season?
Yeah.
This cover guy,
he hasn't watched
I don't
yet.
watch any of them. I'm like meme bro over here. I like the Coral meme where he's always telling him a bad like dad joke and like he reiterates it while the kid is crying. And I think there's one more. Oh, the Dave always sent me I fucking swore or something on it that he like that we used to have as a soundbite on our podcast.
Yeah.
Bullshit. That's about
that's
my
Simon.
extent.
Yeah,
That's
Simon.
my extent.
Yeah.
So
Simon
yeah,
was
at least you know
outstanding.
that because obviously Rick Grimes. I mean, he's an amazing actor that was in Love Actually. And
Andy Lincoln is phenomenal. And folks, I know there's been a lot of people. Sorry, Andrew.
that's okay. I was good. I was good.
It just adds to the
About
night.
time you say something, Dave.
I was just gonna keep
Trying to
circling
get
the
this tech
wagon.
right. But no, there's
Give
been
me
a
a
lot of
hot
people.
mic.
There's been a lot of people out there talking about how Andy Lincoln might not show up. Folks, I know I'm not an insider, but you could bank 99.9% sure they are definitely having Andy Lincoln, Rick Grimes, at least in a post-credit. There's no way this show ends, well, the main show, doesn't end without something with Andy Lincoln. And Angela, I don't even know why Angela King brought this up in an interview, but she told whatever source that they were interviewing with that she changed the ending. So if that wasn't obvious enough, and that was just a few weeks ago. So
That's funny.
they had something already in play, had to work through, I assume they worked through a couple things, and then boom, got the green light and made that change. So I know you could probably say, well, Dave, maybe they just changed it and took Andy out. No way. That's not happening.
You know, and that's true, Dave, because you and I always talk about the tension that they had for I guess the episode that introduced Negan, the amount of tension that specific episode has, because we didn't know who was going to make it and who wasn't. I feel like they'll never get that level of energy back because they've announced everything. And yes, the white shirt is signature clothing. I'm trying to get a sponsorship out of the deal.
Somebody commented.
True Classics, hit me up.
So many people saying I got small arms, giving Quinn a hard time about his white T-shirts. Subtitles are super helpful. That's Michelle W. That's what I had a couple of friends were like, just go back and watch it, give it another try. Just watch it with subtitles. And they actually said the exact same thing. Is like once you catch on to the subtitles, it becomes easier to like understand what they're saying. So I might give it another try. At the Oak, I bought a Gryffindor tie, and the cashier lectured me on looking like a nerd. Well, you should have taken that tie, wrapped it around the back of the cashier's head, and pulled him in for an old elbow. Maybe not. But
we can do violence here.
No, it's funny, because I got to be honest. We had talked about, we thought, Potter was like a little like nerdy or whatever, and then you get into it and you're like, this is like awesome. Like I think Order of Phoenix was one of my favorite just because of, like I said in our reactions, it felt like a Rocky movie to me. Like, well, look, if the teachers aren't going to teach us stuff, you get out in the real world, you got to learn this stuff. We're going to do it ourselves. I found the room of requirement. The students were teaching each other. Harry was guiding people along with their expecto patronos and all that good stuff. So, no, I wear it like, I don't just wear my Potter stuff for the for our reactions. I like wear some of my Potter stuff out in public, and it's fun. Like I thought, you get a couple little kids, they'll be like, "Oh, he's got a Harry." Like it's the coolest thing for me when a little kid's like,
little kids,
he's got a Harry Potter shirt on. I'm like, yeah, And there's been a couple of people like I was at like a gas station and somebody had a Slytherin shirt on. I'm like, Slytherin, huh?
Yeah, you wanted to eye him up.
They kind of started laughing. I'm like, yeah, all right. But even like that, like that little interaction and stuff. So I'm guessing whoever the cashier was didn't know Harry Potter. Otherwise,
hey, thanks Dauber for talking about bad human pod as well.
Hey, I do want to point out, maybe if you guys did talk about this, cut me off. Graham dropped a message saying, I don't know if you know, but Netflix bought the rights to Narnia, and they're supposed to be doing like a high budget show for it.
Oh, really?
Perfect timing for us to start watching.
Does anyone else hear? Did anyone else hear that? Is that any truth? Because they should learn, if that's the case, they should really take notes about what Amazon Prime did wrong with Rings of Power.
Take notes.
And we haven't even seen Narnia yet. So
also, there was a request, Diamond Dave, for you to do your house sorting.
Everybody's jumping in the comments with their. So if you don't recall from our sorting quiz, I was a Hufflepuff, a Ravenclaw. Yep. Answer, what were you over there? What was the answer?
What was the answer?
I can't even remember anymore. It's been so long.
Slytherin. I think it's because you said that you wanted a black cat. I think
that was what
set it off.
That put him over. I was set on being like, look at what I got at GNC. Look at this. I almost like messed my pants when I saw they had an actual
clean up aisle
Gryffindor blender bottle protein shaker cup, so I was, you guys can imagine my surprise. So I got my Gryffindor tie. It's right over there. My scarf, everything else. and and I did the sorting quiz, and I came up as a Hufflepuff. It was unexpected for me, but you know, it wasn't.
There's
bad.
a punching bag in the studio that he beat the
Cedric
shit out of for
Diggory
half
is
an
a
hour.
Hufflepuff. I mean, so I'm, you know, alongside Big
Money
Rob, so that's not so
sorry.
bad.
That's a great name.
So Andrew, I just saw your comment in there that you just said yes they did. The license was an issue, and Netflix has been the first since the third movie to get their hands on it. So
There we go.
I think Now I'm just judging all this. My reaction currently to everyone's hype for us to watch that movie, or the 3 movies. So I guess it'll be interesting to see how that really turns out, to be honest.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
think
gonna be fun
Narnia is
for us.
going to be a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of hype around that, so I'm excited for it.
Because I mean,
check it out.
well, yeah, like honestly, like we know nothing about it, and you guys have been crushing it with everything you guys suggest and vote on. So like, obviously, we're ready, willing, and able to do it. That's
And I did see a couple comments come in. I did see a couple comments come in. We do know that Ant-Man trailer dropped today. We have not seen it yet. If it wasn't for all this tech issues, I would try to wing something right now and get it up
Bring it
to
up and watch
react
it.
with you guys.
Just-
Maybe I still might. I mean, this has already been
might break
the hell of a
the
night
internet.
anyways with it. So, folks,
see.
also too, Andrew's shirt. We haven't heard. I haven't seen one comment about Andrew's shirt, and all of you just keep commenting, ready, willing, and able.
Keep blowing his head up.
So if anyone is interested, though, let us know because we only have one, which is for
They don't
Andrew,
ask
but if
about your white
more
shirt
people-
where they can get that. They can get that just anywhere. This shirt is one of a kind.
Speaking of white shirts, can we get a fund together to get Quinn like some newer white shirts?
I know this one's starting to fade out on me a little bit.
He'll have
I
to
got
get
my
shirt,
new ones
white
coming.
shirt number 2
got his
in the
new ones
closet.
coming.
I got another order coming.
What there was an old, was it Lil Wayne? There was somebody on MTV Cribs where he never re-wore white t-shirts. You'd buy
one and done. Huh?
well, you buy like a Hanes pack of 5 for, you know, however much. This is when MTV Cribs was still on, so probably a lot less. And you just wear it, the fresh white tee, and then when he's done, he was tossing them. Yeah.
Well, once I start making Lil Wayne money, maybe we'll look into
Quinn's
it.
gonna start doing his fresh white tees every episode.
Attaboy, Graham.
Hey, speaking of new stuff we have coming, I know there's been a lot of hype as well for The Last of Us on HBO. I know we're kind of bouncing around here a little bit, but I have not played the video game. I don't know if any of you guys have. I guess it would mostly just be answer over
Andrew
here.
was talking about last night how he wants to start it up.
Yeah,
the video game, yeah.
I don't have you guys heard anything about Last of Us? Who's behind it as far as directing? Do you guys think it's in good hands? Do you think it's going to be a hit?
I know the cast is going to be pretty spectacular
because I know the story should be great.
Lilith says that you get to decide what house you're in, just like Harry did. The Sorting Hat wanted to put him in Slytherin.
It's for the Pedro.
Technically, I guess I could say I'm Gryffindor. Do I don't have to go off the quiz. I can go in the house.
I mean, if you
that's if the hat really allows you to.
It's not
Remember
like
the hat
me,
allowed
where
Harry.
the first time I did, I was truly able to pick what house I wanted to go to because I was one of the most rare of the people to do the quiz. I could hang my hat on that.
Okay.
Brag a little bit.
Yeah, Gina was just showing it to him that Pedro Pascal will be the lead in The Last of Us.
We
so
want
that's
some
in good.
tossing of the shirt from Mason Quinn. Wow.
That would have to be on Twitch in my hot tub.
Well, Sunshine said I'll buy one of Answer's shirts when he shows his Slytherin pride.
There you go.
it's
Start
gonna-
selling his
Whatever.
white t-shirts on our merch.
So a couple comments for Arcane. Yes, Arcane is coming. Right now, we are going to be starting Avatar: The Last Airbender. So there's quite a few episodes to roll through that. But once that is
66.
complete, Arcane is going to be following Airbender for sure.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We're doing Airbender. Isn't that great? I'm so happy.
There's been a lot of requests for it, and it's an incredibly popular series, so should be interesting.
Yeah, I was so excited. I was definitely ready, willing, and able to watch this with these two knuckleheads and just watch them enjoy it.
Gina's going down a theory road. Harry only almost got into Slytherin because of the Horcrux. Now, are you saying because Harry was a Horcrux?
I mean,
that's I have watched every single fan theory Was Harry a Horcrux? Is that why the Dursleys were in such a foul mood all the time? One of the things that I learned from the first book, which we'll dive into a little bit more, but also fan theory, if that's what you're referencing, whether Harry was a Horcrux, people did point out that the Dursleys were pretty miserable people prior to Harry's arrival. In fact, in the book, and the one thing I will say, we're not going to dive into it too much, but Professor McGonagall did say that she's been watching them, and they are the worst kind of muggles. The worst kind of muggles.
No, I'm just happy that David messaged that what time it was.
They are muggles of the worst kind. So for the people who thought the Dursleys were always in a bad mood because Harry was a Horcrux, Dursleys were just, flat out like they're nasty people.
Alexiana, like how we're going to do the episodes, that's
so to be determined.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Okay.
Third division coming in hot. Thank you very much for the super chat. Shout out to you guys. Sad the prisoners didn't win the poll. Not sure. Sorry, my thing was moving here. Not sure how many of y'all are parents, but if so, you might actually find it scary. Can't wait for the Hogwarts Legacy game Potter.
Yeah,
every Potter fan has been waiting for. So real quick, it didn't win the poll, but you may more than likely see it in December coming. We have heard a lot of good things. We are 3 of us here are parents out of the 4. Andrew is a father of a pup.
Yeah, doggy.
He's a fur pup. Fur dad. So most likely in December that's coming.
I mean,
I heard nothing but great. I heard it's intense. I haven't seen it.
And to piggyback off Prisoners, I know we've talked about a lot of the movies we've watched recently, how you just feel like they hit you different being a parent. You know, we really touched on that. It definitely does. It makes a difference. Okay, it's a movie and you're watching it, but it still gets the emotions out of you, especially on Interstellar. When we watched that, the whole scene with Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar where he has to leave and his daughter doesn't want him to, and she's in the bed, crying, and he's trying to tell her it's going to be okay. That was a real tough scene. That was something else.
Yeah, there's some movies that I think, look, obviously, if you're somebody who has any sort of empathy or, compassion for other human beings, if you see a movie where something bad is happening to children, regardless of whether you have children or not, that's going to be difficult to watch, right? But it definitely is different when you have kids of your own, because immediately there's it's one thing to watch a movie and be like, well, if I had kids and that happened. It's different when you're watching it and you say, if that happened to my kid.
Like Black Phone.
And I feel like there's some inherent compassion that you have for other parents, like when you have kids of your own, that whether it's a fictional story or not, it just kind of kicks in. We watch Interstellar in that scene, but there's another scene where he's doing some video conferencing with his daughter via very long distance. That hit me really hard. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine having that happen. So a movie like Prisoners, and I think I saw it in the theaters. It was one movie I saw once years and years back. So I really don't recall much, but I do feel like some of those movies they're almost to the point where even for a reactor channel, they were hard to watch. When is the first It dropping on
this
YouTube?
week?
So It is dropping, and there's a scene in that, an opening scene where I got to be honest, we're watching these movies for the channel and stuff, but there's a party that wanted to be like, you know what, all right,
that's how I felt with
just
It
take
as
off,
well.
just take off the headphones and be like, I know we're doing a channel here, but I don't want to keep going with this. And I think it's a really good movie, but it was just. The second you picture it being your kid, it's different. So that was a great comment about how it might hit different that we have kids, but I think Prisoners would be a good watch.
Comment SFN. Thank you for the $5 spot.
Thank you for the contribution.
Really appreciate that. And then we have another super chat.
Yep, there it is. Graham once again coming clutch.
Graham has been hot in the chat today. Interstellar is my #1 movie of all time, so I cannot wait for the reaction on Patreon. That should be out in the next 3 days or less.
You know, funny story, Graham, about
Thanks,
about Interstellar, and I had said this to these guys. So when it came out, I went to the theater. I was traveling a lot. I was on the road a lot. I actually fell asleep in the theater during the movie, and it's not the movie. I used to fall asleep a lot of places. I was kind of with my work and everything else, burning the candle at both ends. But I remember I was in and out, and I didn't really catch it much. And I just remember being really confused. And, you know, my girlfriend at the time was, that's because you only watched half of it, you know? But I was blown away by how good it was, just being attentive and watching it again. And this is a movie that, like I said, I only saw bits and pieces of it because unfortunately I fell asleep and had a very low kind of idea about this movie from what I remember, and then going back and watching it all, I was like,
it was the sugar crash from the ice cream. Just
I can't be the only one who's eaten ice. Tell me there's somebody else who's had ice cream in the theater.
Yeah, children.
A lot of
other
theaters
the other
now
people
have
and
like
their
actual
kids.
restaurants. It's not like where it's just popcorn and candy. And if I'm gonna get ice cream, I'm gonna get ice cream.
You're gonna kick your feet,
and I will pay you $5 to never bring that up again. You bring it up every month. Every month.
He's like that uncle you got that tells the same
joke. It was great the first 2 times. The last 100 has been falling flat. All right, Alex, thank you for the super chat. Question, I believe here, one for each of you, and the last is a team effort.
All right.
Karaoke, academic trivia, math, science, literature, pop culture trivia, film, TV, music, sports, bar games, darts, billboards, logic, puzzles.
Ooh. I would for me it would be for like an individual. Like for me, it'd either be pop culture trivia or bar games. That would be that's the two I would be good at.
I don't know if our basketball with the beer bottle challenge is still up on the channel, but the answer owned that one, so I would agree with that. For me, you know, I always wanted to be a rock star. I wish it was karaoke, but sadly, my voice and tone deafness doesn't allow it. So I'd probably have to go with pop culture trivia, and I think if we had to do one as a team, I think we do pretty good at bar games.
Okay, yeah, I would second the bar games as a team.
Yeah,
I love pop culture trivia, and every once in a while, it's been a minute, but like I've gone and done trivia with some friends,
like
the
Buffalo
film,
Wild Wings and
TV,
stuff.
music. That's a lot of fun because you have people who are into different shows and stuff like that, and it's always fun when something comes up and you like something that you're obsessed with. Like, I know this one.
I'm the one.
So I would go with pop culture trivia all the way. I love that sort of stuff.
Gosh, you know, I was terrible in high school with academic trivia, so I'll have to say I like Mason Quinn. I always thought I was Bon Jovi in my earlier 20s, even though I could not hit any note that man could. Otherwise, for bar games, I'm going to be specific here. Darts. Answer and I always were pretty high in darts whenever we'd go out. But a new one has kind of come in for me, and I don't know if anyone else has tried this. Axe throwing. The games that they have for the axe throwing, you get sucked in pretty quick. I do want to go back again.
I thought you were going to say skee ball. You guys remember we had a skee ball machine at one of the local taverns, and we pumped so much money into that thing.
Yeah, that's a different story for a different time, but that was fun.
Yeah, somebody asked real quick why Erick Rowan was on the thumbnail. He was a guest of ours earlier on in the stream. This stream will stay up on the channel, so you can go back and watch it and see the fun that we had.
Yeah, just pardon the incredible mess that I had, but you'll see it there.
It was a small. He took it all in good.
Comment SFN again. Thank you very much for the 5 spots. You guys should really consider Peaky Blinders. Great cast, great story, great acting. Also, Helen McCroy, aka Narcissa Malfoy. Blade.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and like I said, I know Peaky Blinders is one of those shows where personally, I do want to watch it, but part of me is, okay, maybe we're going to do it for the channel. But then the other thing is, and I know I've said it before during reactions and wrap-ups, I know the other guys are probably the same way. The amount of stuff that we're really trying hard to put out on the channel and give you guys really good content, honestly, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for me to dive into a new series. When I'm at home, I'm mostly watching YouTube videos that are, 10, 15 minutes here and there. I really haven't got into a series that much since we started doing the channel. So hopefully we can maybe one day get to it because everybody has raved about Peaky Blinders.
I just saw something here. I shouldn't have. Right here, the director, Gina, mentions the director of Last of Us also worked on The Punisher, Altered Carbon. I know Quinn used to watch that. Shadow and Bone and The Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
So
nice.
In good hands there.
So then we'll see what she brings to each episodes.
Yeah, I loved the first season of Altered Carbon. That was incredible. And of course, The Punisher, our man John Bernthal speaks for himself. Super nice guy.
John Bernthal.
Karaoke community night. I mean, we really could do that, but nobody, I think, wants to hear any of us sings.
Yeah.
Abductee of Earth, yes.
You guys would be unsubbing real quick if you heard us sing.
Yeah.
You'd be tuning out. Oh, man.
Have you all seen Ready Player One? Perfect for my
Haunting
shirt.
of House
Yes,
Hill.
Ready Player One is amazing.
Hey, there was some comments
many
in
Easter
here
eggs.
earlier. I kind of want to. I'll have these guys speak to it more, but I see the messages quite a bit. It all started with Harry Potter. A lot of people have reached out regarding whatever's going on in their life, good, bad, indifferent. Some have been going through some rough times, and they use our channel as a kind of a temporary vacation. That means the world to us. Seeing that stuff, I just sent the guys a message from someone today that reached out on Instagram. It was pretty heavy. Yep. So I'll let these guys speak to that a little bit more. But just know it's very appreciative that we are even considered to be somewhat of a ray of sunshine if you are having a down day. So we are really, really grateful for that.
Yeah, the comment we saw that it was especially cool because I have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, so to see that it meant so much to you, and I know how much I enjoyed it. That really, that obviously helps with a connection with someone. So it was awesome that you were able to laugh and have fun with us when we're just sitting around watching movies and letting you guys watch our reactions.
Yeah,
it means a world to us.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, absolutely, it does, and I try to get through and read as many of the comments as I can. It's so great because everybody's so positive, and I don't know if it started with Harry Potter or some of the bigger fantasy franchises that we did, whether it's Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, whatever. But everybody is incredibly helpful and very willing to share knowledge and backstory on different things. And you guys are just the greatest. And if we can do any little thing that helps somebody get through their day, we're happy to do it.
Yeah, it's a very unexpected thing when we started doing these movie reactions, and I've talked about this in some of the Potter reactions as we went through the series, and the comments started to get a little bit more personal as opposed to just people talking about the movie. And in personal, I mean in a good way. People leaving comments like, "Hey, you helped us get through a tough time," or I was kind of down in the dumps, and watching the reaction with you guys, kind of felt like I was watching a movie with friends. We did have a few people, that have made comments regarding our stature, kind of like, hey, like dealt with
shout out Ellie.
Dealt with some bullies when we were younger or in high school and stuff like that, and kind of always had this conception about how we thought guys like us would be, and it was refreshing to see that we're not. So there's a lot of really personal things. We've got messages here. I've gotten a relatively decent amount of private messages on my personal Instagram page, and there's some people that have gone in really deep with some personal stuff they've faced and how the channel has helped out. And that's never what we intended on doing, but it's something that's pretty cool that's happening, and it's something that we always want to recognize. And so to the people who have reached out, we really appreciate it. To the people who are hesitant, I don't want to bother them and shoot them a DM or whatever, please always feel free. And if it's something where you got something you want to say, it's always better to just say it, then let it kind of weigh on you. If there's people going through some stuff, and having somebody to talk to, or even just reply to a comment helps, even in the slightest amount, then reach out to us. And when somebody says they're going through some tough stuff, we always want to encourage people to talk to other people. And look, I don't want this to turn into some giant lecture, but it's important that if people are going to talk to us about dealing with depression that we talk a little bit about mental health, and I don't think any of us are, you know, too tough or above any of that stuff. In fact, you know, when I was in the UK a couple of weeks ago, the fighter Paddy, what's his last name?
I know who you're talking about, but
So
he's all over
after
now.
his fight, you know, this guy just won a UFC fight, and like UFC is like the tough guys, right? And after his fight, you know, he didn't even want to talk about the win. He wanted to talk about how he just lost a friend of his, and there's this like stigma about like how guys can't like talk about their feelings and emotions and mental health and stuff. And he said it again in this big seminar he did in the UK, and he's using that as a platform. And he, you know, one of his, you know, big points is just talk to people. And I guess that's kind of my point of what I'm saying right now is that if reaching out and talking to us or talking to other people in the comments or whatever is going to help you, then do that. And we encourage you, if something that we've done has helped you, we encourage you to share those stories with us, whether it's openly in the comments or privately in direct messages. But even if again, something unexpected that I thought we wouldn't be saying with a reactor channel, but even if you just need somebody to talk to or vent to or just say what's up to, we're pretty easy to find, and so we appreciate that.
You know, I guess just entertaining in a way for you guys goes a long way, and we'll continue to do that, and we love every good moment you guys have coming from us. Absolutely. I mean, come on.
Yeah, to kind of
nothing better in life.
To kind of echo Oak, there was a few weeks ago a message that came through. They were having a pretty bad time, and I told them, anytime, reach out. We may not have the best words to say back to you, as in like maybe not the right words at the right time, but we are there to support. So now I'm saying it to you if you're here watching. Anytime you feel that you're super down and you just need to get something out, message us. We may not get to you right away, but the message will get to you. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And if I can just, and it's, you know, it seems like the people who are watching, especially the Potter stuff, it just seems like a really good group of people.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
It seems like a really solid
group hug, guys.
People.
Group hug.
Somebody said group hug. And so I'm going to just make a request to the Potter people, and it's just everybody. I don't just want to, but we feel like we have like this Potter family, and it doesn't feel that way with the other movies. But if you have an opportunity tomorrow, the next day, a week from now, a month from now, just to be kind to somebody else or nice to somebody else, and it doesn't always have to be big things. Like even tell them, like, look, you see somebody with a Harry Potter shirt on, and you just, oh, I like your shirt, or I like your hair, or a smile, or opening a door for somebody. Every single day you have multiple opportunities the second you step outside your home to do just small acts of kindness that go a long way for other people. And I've seen people, you know, I saw some guy, you know, he just had a Friday the 13th shirt on, you know, and it was at a gas station. And, you know, I go to there's Quick Trip we have in Wisconsin, and it's like a mini grocery
so
store
the KW,
gas station.
not the QU.
And so I'm there all the time. So if you hear, how many people do you see at a gas station on my Quick Trip all the time? Yeah. But a guy was coming out, he had a Friday the 13th shirt on, and it said like vacation at Camp Crystal Lake, or, you know, something satirical. And I you know, I didn't know. The guy just laughed. It was like, hey man, I love your shirt. And he was like, oh, yeah. You know, and you could just tell, like, just this little thing brightened up somebody's day. So if you're out there just in your day-to-day life and you get even just the smallest chance to be nice to somebody and just a little thing, I just always encourage that. So, and I think our Potter fans are a really solid group of people.
What was that? Kindness is contagious.
Kindness is contagious.
But yeah, because like even the Potterheads with like what I was going to mention is that when we came into it, they weren't judgmental. They weren't saying this isn't for you. And even though we might have said we didn't like the first couple, they were just sitting there like, oh, just wait.
Yeah, just wait. You'll
just
see.
wait.
The patience.
Hey,
just wait.
Hey, check out these guys. Yeah. They don't think they're going to like it. Oh, just wait.
Our boy Dauber jumping in with a quote that The Rock always likes to say. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And The Rock will drop that every now and again on his Instagram page. So thanks for reminding of that.
I like Sarika's right there. Zero talent needed to be nice and have a positive
That's
attitude.
exactly it. Yeah.
That's our moderator. That's our moderator.
Go
folks.
out and be nice.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you talk about that, Oak, with the with like the Harry Potter shirts or somebody like that. I remember I was at a concert and a guy was wearing a Big Trouble in Little China Jack Burton tank top that he wears in the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, like, that guy had to like go online, purposely try to find this thing. Like, he put in some effort. So I was like, hey man, Jack Burton, all right. And he's like, oh yeah, all right. And like totally made his day. It was awesome.
Cat Webb just said, nice. I love telling people when I like their shirts now. I was always too always too shy to say anything before. I have found, and I mentioned earlier, I saw somebody in a Slytherin shirt. Thank you for bringing that up. I have found that one of the easiest ways to just do like little things is when you see somebody with a shirt on, whether it be a movie shirt or a TV shirt or a band shirt or something, to be like, hell yeah. And for me, it's a little different with my stature. Sometimes I think people are surprised that I'm into some of the stuff they're into. So when I see somebody with a Harry Potter shirt on, I'm like, hell yeah! And they're like, oh, this big guy likes Harry Potter. It's fun, but that's a great point, Kat. If you're too shy to like, oh, I like your hair, or sometimes can be little, or certain like, hey, jeans, like shoes. I won't say a sneakerhead, but I love shoes.
He loves the dad shoes.
Somebody's got somebody's got a cool pair of shoes, but a t-shirt is a great way to is a great way to do that. So.
A moderator. Yeah. Tell strangers they smell nice, and the look of shock and appreciation is incredible.
So I will say that as I have had I think it's different. If a female compliments a man that he smells nice, I think generally speaking, just with the way of things, and I don't want to get too into gender norms or whatever, I think that's okay. I think sometimes with men, telling a female that they smell nice, depending on how you deliver it and the circumstances and stuff like that, I think
wouldn't recommend it.
Like if I'm at the gas station and I'm standing behind somebody in line with my eggs and they're like, do you smell nice? It's like, yeah, sometimes.
And then they turn around like, really? I pump gas on myself, but you're telling me I smell nice?
Just tell them they are your density and you'll be fine.
And we now know. No, I still have the theory that you're Diamond Dave under the table with a burner phone.
Real quick, too, we got some messages a few messages that came in about the new Black Panther trailer. Looks very intriguing.
Yeah.
Definitely was a huge fan of Chadwick
Boseman.
Chadwick. Now, I will admit, we didn't cry when we watched the first trailer. We know a lot of reactors did, and maybe some reactors probably forced themselves a little bit to cry, and I think you know which ones were. But all in all, it does look intriguing. I'm very interested in seeing where they're going to take the story now that Chadwick is no longer with us.
I'm glad that they did not recast it, but I don't know any of the other lore outside of him as Black Panther, or the character as well. So like that's where I'm intrigued to see where they go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be neat to see if the Black Panther series can continue on and. Look, I don't want to say turn around the Marvel franchise because it was doing fine, but I think they're missing that big kind of shot in the arm to really re-energize the whole franchise. And, maybe Black Panther, Wakanda Forever can do that. I did not watch the trailer for that or Ant-Man because, like I said, I didn't know if I was going to be watching it with all of you. So I stayed away from it. I saw it in my feed and I scrolled right past it.
Yeah, Ant-Man dropped today. So that's
we've been working, and then from work we came straight here and dealt with the fun that's called tech.
I like how he says that was all Diamond Dave with that.
So,
and he did a great job though, as you can tell, because we're streaming right now.
Whitney Eulario, you should do a trip to Orlando Universal's to Harry Potter World. No. It would be amazing to see. What's that?
Finish.
It would be amazing to see you guys.
Now read Alex right there, 2 down.
Haha, yes, the Ready Willing Able shirt.
No, right here.
Oh. When you're visiting, we'll take lots of videos.
Well, tell
actually,
them
and
about
then-
your master
so here's-
potential plan.
And just real quick, someone also said that it's fun because everybody's wearing shirts and then everybody has theories and talk each other's heads off. That's what somebody else put up higher too. So sorry, go into
As
that.
far as the trip to Whitney and Alex visiting World in Orlando, so I have this plan that I've run by these guys. So in March there is Fan Expo, or is it MegaCon or Fan Expo in Orlando? It's one of the two, MegaCon or Fan Expo in Orlando. I believe it's the third or fourth weekend in March. Now the four of us could all hop on a plane, fly down there.
Where's the
visiting?
fun in that?
Go to Wizarding World
That's just too
and
easy.
go to Fan Expo. But we thought
Thank you, Dave.
we would make it fun. And so we can't guarantee it. There's some logistical things that we have to straighten out yet. We are in the early planning stages of potentially renting a giant RV.
Oh my God! Could you
And road
imagine?
tripping from central Wisconsin, east
Say it
central
one more time.
Wisconsin.
Say it one more time, Dave. Say it one more time.
Road tripping from east central Wisconsin. Is that what you want?
In the RV, folks. This man
And
wants to get an
RV.
RV.
So I want to rent
Film the
an
whole
RV, like
thing.
a big one though, right? Like not like a little one.
Get all the cameras that they
A
have
big
on
RV,
like-
and we take a road trip. We stop probably somewhere around Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's about from where
Some
we're
guys
at
are
to
country
Nashville
fans.
is around a 12-hour drive. We figured we could go
Daniels?
out and have fun in Nashville. We continue our trip down on a Friday. We check out Wizarding World. On Saturday, we check out the Comic-Con. I have some friends that work in that industry, and so we love going to those things. And
So
if somebody-
Rika's been like crushing it with her.
if you go
fast
right down from
comments.
Georgia. But if it happens, it will be well documented,
Yep.
and it's going to
Gina
be a
says
lot
she
of
knows
fun.
a guy from
And we'll
RV.
definitely let you
But-
know dates, folks, because if you end up being there too, we want to see you in person.
Okay, so this is a comment Lilith brings up. You'll need more than one day to do Wizarding World of Harry Potter properly. Okay, so here's a question: is it possible if we showed up at Wizard World, like when the doors open and we're
first in
there,
line.
and we're the last ones to leave? Is that enough to, like, if we're talking 4 adults? Not, and the reason I say 4 adults is because we're not like just like strolling
dragging
around little
kids
kids
around,
and stuff.
yeah.
So if we went there open to close, is that enough time to experience a Wizarding World? Because we thought about it would be fun to then the next day go to the MegaCon or Fan Expo dressed up as the Harry Potter characters. So let us know if one day is enough, if it's you're there open
Like
to close.
Alex, I didn't think of it. We should add something about the channel so that it doesn't get interrupted. They need us to be careful so we
Oh,
don't kill each other.
That's true. Yeah. Keep it going. Yeah, what a road trip that'd be. It'd be like the grand
I mean,
tour.
the
of
content-
There's 2
tier
Wizarding
meets.
Worlds. They have Dogsmead and Diagon Alley.
Yeah, the content that would come out of that trip would be.
There'd be a lot of. I
pretty
think there'd be a
insane.
lot of pranks going on that trip. I think a lot of people be waking up with mustaches drawn on their face.
A lot of people
I
are-
just,
yeah,
I just know
all
we're
right,
gonna
a
go
lot
through a
of-
lot of
Lines are
gas
long.
when Diamond Dave is driving because the pedal will be to the metal.
Okay, so everybody's saying. So
2
I
days.
don't know. So Gina, to your comment, and this is something that we need to research a little bit better. I don't know that necessarily we need to. I don't know that I want to go on like a ton of rides as much
Yeah.
as like
Andrew and I will.
Yeah,
as
we'll-
much
we'll
as
do
like
the
see
rides.
things. Because I know when I was in the UK, I really wanted to do the Harry Potter tour in London.
Beers, basically.
In London, I just didn't have an opportunity to do it with my work schedule. And being that I was in Birmingham, there just wasn't time to go over to London. But I wanted to see like a tour of the studios. So I guess I didn't know.
On your mic.
I guess I
sorry,
didn't
you
know
threw it right at
how
us.
much of the Wizarding World is like rides and stuff. How much is like sets and studios? What do we have?
What a treat.
This is perfect timing. I almost forgot because of how crazy this tech has been. Speaking of Potter,
He's giving out prizes.
we took all of your advice and we bought the Jelly Belly Harry Potter. I'm going to butcher this. Birdie Bots beans.
Birdie Bots beans.
Okay,
yeah.
so what do we got here? Blueberry,
It is so
Booger.
small I can't read it.
candy, cherry, cinnamon, dirt, earthworms,
Yeah.
earwax, What are these other two? I need the light on my phone.
Here we got.
Well, first
we got
one I had was
grass,
good.
Green apple, marshmallow, rotten egg, sausage, lemon, soap, tutti frutti, vomit, watermelon.
pepper.
So one side they're all
and
good, the
banana.
other side they're all bad.
All right, here we
Who
go.
would want the bad ones?
Oh, yep.
Oh Lord, the beans. Yeah, folks,
Oh,
we
God,
took
what
your
are we gonna
advice.
do? We're gonna do a couple at a time.
Well, Andrew usually has the balls
Messing around here.
to like throw them all in his mouth.
Yeah, he just goes
So
right
far,
for it.
so far I'm doing good.
You started already?
Was that man?
It's
this one's
candy.
hot.
What'd you expect?
Holy cows! I got a spicy one.
I got a
just
spicy one
smell.
too.
No, the beans.
They got
The beans.
You're doing one at a time, right? Or you just
Yeah.
I got a spicy one. I don't know what that one was.
I don't know what that one is, but it doesn't taste really good.
Oh, guys, that one was awful.
You gotta finish it.
I don't have to do anything I don't want to do.
This is the guy who skipped there.
That's funny. Well, the beans have entered the chat, Alex. Yep, you're right. We're trying them out right now.
Okay, that was all right.
That was. Oh, one of these really
The boogie
stinks.
one is horrid.
Yep, I think I just had the booger. And that might be another one. Another
We're definitely,
booger.
Alyssa, we're definitely trying the bad ones. Quinn just spit his out.
Yeah, not great. Here, you want it? Here.
I'm not spitting anything out. I don't roll like that.
Oh well, you know.
What was this red one? Yeah, well, yeah, one could take it a funny way.
Never mind.
Oh boy.
That one was all
earthworm.
right.
Earthworm's not bad.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
Okay.
What's this?
Okay, I'm gonna
orange
try one more for all you guys out there.
Banana. That one was good.
That
See?
Wow.
It's not fun, is it?
Wow, that was black pepper.
I've had some that aren't so good, but I haven't had a really nasty.
What the hell was that?
You see, you know
I
what
had
the problem
black
is?
pepper. That one wasn't too bad.
The hell was that?
I think the problem is you have one bad one, and then your taste buds are like set up for something really bad, and I don't know if anything tastes
That
good
was
afterwards.
awful.
That's a good one though. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was
Spitters
soap.
are quitters.
That one was soap. It legit feels like
I
it was
didn't mean
soap.
it like that.
This is terrible.
Yeah.
Whose bright idea was this?
I had the earwax,
Yours?
apparently.
I thought the Harry Potter fans were nice.
Gosh,
And
guys.
loving and caring. Who does this?
I'm really scared to try this yellow one here.
Whiskey Hotel.
Hope we all heard
Oh,
that.
Whiskey Hotel's been doing some
I'm
good
never
ones.
gonna live that one.
Hey y'all, these beans
Mason,
are
that was
definitely not.
earwax.
I don't think I'm gonna be
Yeah,
getting.
they're no Jelly Bellies. Let's just put it that way.
They're no good Jelly Bellies.
Oh, is this sausage? Oh, that's awful. Oh, this is awful.
Gosh,
that was
guys.
gross.
Oh, man. I mean,
This one looks like a bloated wood tick.
Oh my god, this is
Are
terrible.
my taste buds that messed up, or did I just not get a really nasty one yet?
This is awful, man.
That was
Yeah,
watermelon. That one was delicious. Watermelon is delicious if you get it, guys.
Oh, this is terrible.
Oh, boy, the Potter candy.
Oh, the blue one's good. Oh, that's a
yeah, 'cause
palate
it's
cleanser.
blueberry.
The
Oh my god.
You know, the world of Harry Potter hasn't had many misses, but
Well, this
I'm afraid
tastes-
these jelly beans are a miss for me.
This one tastes like smells
Eat
like
chocolate
tastes like
frogs.
Windex or something.
I'm just waiting for the vomit one.
I mean, Andrew, have you tried these dead yellow ones?
Lilith, I'm going through this whole box, so I'm not stopping.
Which one was that one? That was not
Oak,
tutti frutti.
You want these like cute looking ones?
Yep, this tastes like sausage. Is there a sausage one? This
Yeah,
one's
I
pretty
believe there
crap?
is.
Yeah, there is because
Yeah.
Dave Diamond just had it.
This
Oh
one's
man,
pretty
that's
bad.
pepper.
I just
That's
had the.
like just
Yeah, isn't that-
crunching down on pepper.
You didn't have the dining facility at base. We never know, Thomas Nash. You never know.
Okay, this one tastes like
I had soap again.
beans and poop. Oh my god.
No good.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it's terrible. These are awful. Why'd you guys suggest these?
Oh god, this is gross.
Ah,
I'm not quitting.
well, that's good on ya.
I had two more black pepper.
Oh
That
man,
was just crazy.
this is awful.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Another bad one. Right in a row. This is definitely Windex.
I'm enjoying
old booger.
the comments here.
I think this is watermelon, so I'm
Bring
going
to
to
the
eat
live
that one.
chat.
You guys
bring
know,
it-
for those of you when we first started the channel, when we just did
Yes, I did.
when we did a multi-topic like podcast, this is way back when. We did a couple of the what did we all do? Answer. We did the one chip challenge.
Yeah.
We did the nitro gummy bear.
Gummy bear.
And so we thought about doing some of those again.
This is fuck.
As live streams.
Yeah, the horseradish from.
Okay, so Alex, about the road trip, right?
Yes, let's get into that.
So kind of the logistics of it all. We leave here,
Burnt marshmallow.
you know, maybe 6 a.m. in the morning on a Thursday. We get to Wednesday. When are we going to leave?
Sausage.
I think Thursday. We were going to leave Thursday morning. I think was the plan to leave.
Hey, soap isn't bad.
Yeah, and then
It just tastes like you licked your hand after washing.
we were going to leave Wednesday night because I know we wanted to get to Orlando early Friday morning. Anyhow, so
there's
on
a
like
sausage.
you guys are all familiar with like Airbnb, right? VRBO. Well, basically, there's the exact same thing for RVs.
What is that?
And like some of these like giant RVs, you can rent for like a couple $100 a day.
Yeah, it's not as much as you'd think.
They hit you, the thing is, they hit you for mileage, right?
Yeah.
So driving down to Florida and stuff, it's
Good one, I bet.
that's grass.
Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah.
This is grass.
This is terrible.
So Joseph Law, we're talking about taking a road trip in March down to Wizarding World and
I've had worse.
Comic Con. Oh, lick your hand after washing.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's the taste of like if you ever did something.
Oh my god,
Another nasty one.
this is terrible.
How much of your box have you gotten through?
I'm done.
Did
Yeah.
you just shove a bunch in at
This
once?
is
No,
no,
awful. Was that
he
puke?
he ate them. Yeah.
Was that rotten egg? That was awful. This is terrible.
I got lucky. I didn't get the vomit. I think I had the sausage.
I'm gonna do a palate cleanser with a pepper.
I had grease or grass, I should say. I didn't have the earwax.
Diamond Dave, don't die on us.
Oh, bubble gum. That's a nice break.
Oh, I don't even know if they would taste good after going through that.
Hey, pepper's a good break after
Tracy
that rotten
Ward
stuff.
Films just joined the live. Dave busted out these the birdie bots beans.
I think it was vomit.
Yep.
I'm a little late on getting us these birdie bots because they were some of you requested them months ago,
Stop
but we're
eating
finally
them.
doing it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was enough of that stuff. But
They've had much
We
worse
can't
than
stop.
these
We
ones.
gotta just power through.
powering through.
So anyhow, we did the one chip challenge.
God, what a wuss.
Answer is immune to hot foods.
Yeah, pounds right through it.
So bad.
Quinn didn't partake.
Nah,
When Dave was crying after like
I did do the mustard
30
one,
seconds. We did a horseradish one. It gave me I swear to God, it gave me a bloody nose.
yeah,
Because he was coughing.
yeah. That one's still on the channel. You guys can find that one. The horseradish sauce channel.
God.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
I'm getting down to the bottom, and I feel like all the good ones were on top. Like my
Front-loaded?
first half of my box.
Oh, you got
was like,
front
these are
loaded.
bad.
Lucky.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll give you some. I'll trade you some yellows for green.
Yeah.
Look at these guys trading over
Trading,
here. Like, be a man and just eat the box.
Chocolate.
I don't
Frog.
want to be man and eat the box. I want normal jelly bellies.
Normal.
You guys keep rolling. I'm gonna step out for a moment.
I'm definitely Quinn just put on the cloak of invisibility.
There's the cloak. So
Now, you're about to see a cloak of invisibility, folks.
just put a tie here. That's cool.
So what is there all to do at like Wizarding World? I'm sure I could go online and look. I know there's rides.
I know they have some of the actual sets there because that's actually where the 20th anniversary was. My wife has actually been there, and it's like, yeah, it's the legit sets, and it's a lot of fun.
Elisa,
yes.
Mason Quinn isn't necessarily a picky eater.
Hey,
He just doesn't necessarily. He doesn't like to partake in dumb food challenges.
Yeah, good work. Good job, Gina. She actually saw the horseradish one yesterday.
I got
'cause she
another
kept-
sausage. How many sausages do they put in this thing? This is terrible.
Quinn has some
I got
extra.
a good
Oh,
one.
really, Sergio? You want me to eat some more? I'll eat some more.
The one chip
I think
challenge.
this might actually be cherry.
Happy birthday, Joe Law.
The one chip challenge.
that
I
was
think
cinnamon.
one of my favorites.
Cinnamon is delicious.
This is terrible.
I'm down to my last one.
See, the grocery store nearby, they have like a bunch of individual flavors. I just take a scoop and eat them. Usually the very cherry.
Pass some green and blue.
Yeah.
I need a palate cleanser.
Well, here's, yeah. There's a blue and a green in there.
That was one last sausage.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh, Hagrid's roller coaster. Oh, you know what? By the
We
way,
got to do that
rest in peace, Hagrid. That was
Yes,
tough.
again.
Rest in peace, Robbie.
once again.
Lots of sets, props, interactive things all around the park. So I think that's the stuff that I would be really interested in. The sets,
Cherry
the
ones are
props,
always-
those sort of experiences. As far as the butterbeer comments, Answer made some incredible.
I found a recipe online.
What was all that?
It was alcoholic, but it was so good. It had some cream soda, amaretto. You took whipped cream and some marshmallow fluff, so that way you got that froth on the top. But yeah, it was basically amaretto, almond extract, butter extract, just a little tiny bit. And then the amaretto and I think something else. And yeah, it turned out fantastic. We loved it.
Oh, it was terrible.
Must have snotty fingers. Your immune system must be great. Oh, they put flowers.
Well, what happened?
What I miss?
What about me?
Get an interactive wand. Somebody, somebody posted like a Harry Potter. It's like a wand where you like, I don't know if you roll up like, it's like a lighter.
Yeah,
built in, and you roll up little like wads of paper and stuff it in, and it lights it up and shoots like a little flame thing. I don't know if you
like
guys
a
have seen
Roman
these.
candle.
The leaky cauldron. It's we should prank Mason with these beans. Well, he's sitting.
He already ate them.
Fire whiskey is available too. Is that like
do.
Fireball? If you choose not to do the rides, y'all should at least go through the lines for the rides. Forbidden Journey line goes through the castle. Oh, so that's cool.
That's where they get you.
So
huh?
when you're standing in line, it's not like Great America where it's this wraparound line where you're just outside baking in the sun.
Dave, you
the
want
whole
these
time.
four? That's all black pepper.
I'm good.
I don't trust it.
Sounds lovely.
I'm good.
Narnia
What else
trilogy.
would they be?
Yeah.
They're black pepper.
No, I actually went, and I don't know what you guys talked about while I was briefly gone, but I've gone on Google Maps, and of course you can go on there, and I've dropped in a few different
Lisa.
pins in the Wizarding World to kind of see what it looks like and get a feel for it. It's pretty cool
Happy you're
stuff.
back. How was that invisible cloak?
Oh, works like a charm every time.
Folks, also tomorrow too, we will try to do a premiere for the Maze Runner Death Cure. So we can at least get a little bit of chatting with you on that.
Yeah,
Which
that
is always
franchise
fun.
was
Yeah.
so incredible.
That
It
was a lot of
deserves
fun.
to have a little bit of talking with.
Yeah, that was just
Little
crazy series.
Black pepper is all right. It's all right.
The black pepper
It's
isn't
not
bad.
something to write home about, but it's all right.
Uncultured swine. It's awesome seeing y'all live. New fan, so it's cool.
At first, I thought
Awesome.
that's what you were calling us.
Thank you, Uncultured swine.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been called worse.
They call worse.
Appreciate you following the
Dave
channel.
doing over there?
We're gonna try to bang out more of
In the
these
night.
live streams. We had a little bit of tech issues tonight, but
Yeah,
we have full
we-
faith in our fearless leader, Diamond Dave, over here to get this squared away.
Yeah, I know the problem for next time.
Thomas Nash. So I'm almost near the end of Goblet of Fire. I went real hard in the first three, and then with some work commitments and things like that, it's been a little bit more difficult. But so as I had said earlier, if you missed it, we're going to be, as long as we don't run into more tech issues, we've discussed doing the audiobook reviews as a live like this, so we can have a more interactive Q&A with thoughts and things like that. You know, we discussed the three of us sitting down and kind of going over what I thought about the audiobooks, differences between the books and the movies, things that I liked, things I didn't like, which things I didn't like is pretty much non-existent with the books. But
you
Dave
get to
had
get more out of it.
suggested that it might be a little bit more fun to do it as a live feed. So I think we're going to do that. So hopefully within the next few weeks or so, we'll keep you guys posted. We'll do the Philosopher's Stone, or if you're here in America, Sorcerer's Stone. But I absolutely love the books. As I had said earlier, if you're just jumping in, it's really neat for me to have had watched the movies first and now doing the audiobooks, because as they're being read, I can like picture all the characters and things like that. Although there are definitely some discrepancies between
The two.
descriptions of the characters in the books and in the movies, but they're not like so far off. But the image that I use for when I'm listening to the books is definitely pulled from the movies, which makes it an interesting, kind of an interesting experience.
Yeah. And KN Kinger, I believe we are going to be doing Conjuring 2. It's just a matter of when, so look for it. The first one's a real nice surprise for us.
Yeah,
Third Maze Runner is my personal favorite. Yeah, the Maze Runners,
so good.
The Maze Runners were
great.
all. I mean, just a huge shocker. I said earlier that I thought they were going to kind of be. Well, I shouldn't say that. After watching the Hunger Games, and seeing how many requests that we had for Maze Runner, I was pretty confident that they were going to be good. But my initial reaction is they look kind of like almost like a Hunger Games knockoff, which of course they weren't at all. They were their own very unique story, and I thought they were great.
Yeah, and the story and the pace in Maze Runner just did not stop. From the second you pressed play on whatever you're watching it on, it was action all the way to the finish. They didn't let up, so that was just outstanding.
Yeah, well,
Dumbledore calmly. I haven't gotten that far.
I was also going to say Sarika was correct. Free of bots tonight, which was great.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
We didn't get any penis videos or enlargement because that was the last one, right?
All kinds of stuff.
Well, you get the stupid ads like you kind of mentioned.
Because that's what they were at. Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the bots as in the comments.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's what one of them was. Yeah. One of the bots was like, that.
Yeah, let's just end it there.
All right.
Before we get really booted.
All right.
So, folks, for sure, definitely.
Jim Dale. Yep, the Stevens edition.
Dale.
I said John Dahl, I think earlier. Jim Dale is the ones I'm then listening to, and so they've been a lot of fun, and he uses the voices.
Hey, Monica.
There are different voices for each character, which is really neat. So that's been a lot of fun. If you're into Viking shows, The Last Kingdom, I actually did watch The Last Kingdom.
I hadn't seen it myself,
it was incredible. And I actually, my nephew has like a castle play set, and I had him outside in the winter with all his battle gear on. I am Uhtred, son of Uhtred. It was hilarious. Hardest and most annoying to read is the fifth one. Roller coaster emotions, anger, frustrations, fear. Oak should be. Umbridge is worse in the book than she is in the movie.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? I hate
got a lot of cats.
Can y'all do Midwestern
accents?
Don't we not have?
I thought it'd be bad enough as it is. Oh, jeez.
Well, we talked about more of a youper,
I think that might be sarcastic.
Go
but I can't
down
tell.
there.
Probably.
All right.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you. We're going to have to get you on the reaction again soon. We're going to have to collaborate again.
Absolutely.
Jack, thanks for all the hard work you guys do. Keep it up. Hold on. It's starting to fly away from me. Keep it up. Love all the diverse content, insightful discussions you all have with unique perspectives. Thanks,
right.
Jack.
Thanks,
Hey, everyone,
Jack.
go. If you're a Walking Dead fan here, make sure you go check out Jack's channel,
World.
Jack's World. He's got some great Walking Dead content over there as well. So go check him out. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, when we started doing these reactions, with generally how YouTube works, our intros, we keep it short. People want us to get into the meat and potatoes of things quickly, and when we had started, we had talked like, how do we want to do these wrap ups and stuff like that? Like, should we keep it short and sweet? And it's like, what, like, we don't want to chew up too much time in the beginning of the video, but we all kind of thought like, what, at the end of the video, let's talk. Look, if you watch the whole thing and you don't want to listen to our reactions, cool. You can always click
really
off
should.
or go somewhere else. But we always
really should.
We always feel like it's better for us to at the end of a movie to really talk about how we feel, what we take away from it, different insights. And like, we're all good friends here, but we have different personalities and we see things differently. I mean, there's times I've gone through, you guys will see Quinn will do it and then answer, and then sometimes I finish off, and there's times I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, and answer will be like, he'll say something that like clicks for me. And so we all have
And we find them going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, we have very different personalities, and sometimes we're like, man, especially me, I'm like, man, did I say too much? And then when people come in and they say they appreciate us going in depth and really exploring what the writers and directors had in mind when they created the movies, it's nice to hear those sort of things.
Yeah, Reese real quick, wanted to know what the next big franchise we were doing, and it will be the Chronicles of Narnia.
Well, that'd be big. That'd be huge.
Yeah, Jack just kind of followed up with you right there, Jack's World again. Yeah, nothing wrong with talking as much as you want. People can say if they can stay if they want. It's better to just dive into your thoughts so you don't leave them unsaid.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that, there's a lot of great reactor channels out there, I think, but I think that's one of the things that does set us apart a little bit is that, our reviews at the end of the movies, they're not just superficial reviews. Oh, we thought it was great. It was fun. And I've said this before is that the writers and the directors, like these projects mean so much to them. I mean, these are years, sometimes a lifetime of hard work that go into this. And when it's a shoot 'em up, kind of, fun roller coaster type ride, then it's like, okay, that was fun, whatever.
Not
but
very
when it's
deep.
When it's a deep movie that, obviously, people, or the people writing it want to get that across, I think it's a disservice as reactors to just do whatever during the movie and then not talk about it. When we watched Everything Everywhere All at Once,
incredible.
That movie was visually, it was like wild. Our reaction while we were watching it was like, oh my God, this is wild. But it was such a deep movie and it had such an incredible storyline. Like, to talk about just the action on screen and not dive into, what the movie was about. Exactly. It would be a disservice. So like I said, I'd rather talk a little bit too much because at the end of the video, again, you always have the option to step away if I've, overstayed my welcome.
Henry, thank you for the super chat. Dave and Mason, will you guys react to the Walking Dead spinoffs next year? Also, which one are you looking forward to most? Also, I'm going to miss Lance. He was one of the best things about season 11. Quinn, I'll let you start.
Yeah, so I think the plan is that we will be checking out the spinoffs. Again, depending on schedule, but I do believe that's the plan going forward. So now which ones I'm looking forward to? See, that's kind of tough because obviously I want to see Rick and Michonne, but who knows when that's going to happen? We've had the teases of the Rick movie and what's going on with that. So I think with that set aside, with Rick and Michonne, I really want to see Daryl's spinoff and, of course, Maggie and Negan because I just want more Walking Dead content. And I think I mentioned it in a few of mine and Diamond Dave's reactions that what this gives them a chance to do on The Walking Dead is to really tighten up the story and only deal with a couple of characters instead of having such a massive ensemble where they have to worry about getting everybody their little bit of time so you remember what everybody's doing. So I think it's a chance to kind of simplify the story, and it's really going to give Norman Reedus, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and Melissa McBride a chance to really kind of come out as actors themselves because they'll have so much more screen time dedicated to them. And I think we're in for some really good stuff with those stories, assuming that the writers do us a favor and do us a solid and make them good. I really believe the actors are really going to have a chance to shine in those, and I'm really excited for them.
Yeah, it's hard to say which one I want to see the most of. I mean, kind of, but kind of not. We've been deprived of Rick Grimes for too long. So to answer your question, I am most looking forward to Rick and Michonne. I do worry about the writing with these writers because maybe not, you haven't heard it. With the way they write, when they know they have something in their back pocket, like these spinoffs, they don't treat episodes like they probably should sometimes. With their writing, you can feel that they're a little lax when there's probably, where in most shows, you're going to get, oh, it's our last date. All right, we're going to, here
throw
comes
everything
the fire.
at it, yeah.
Everything. Right now, the last date, I'm not feeling like a full-out urgency. Certain characters do have the urgency, but not, the overall story doesn't, it's not there yet for me. Still enjoying it. But otherwise, yes, I'm looking forward to Rick and Michonne for sure. God, we need Andy back. Definitely looking forward to Maggie and Negan because their dynamic is great. And then Daryl, it's going to be interesting if it's just him.
Yeah.
I am really looking forward to that one too. So thank you again, Henry, for the super
Yeah,
chat.
I think AMC might be afraid they'd make too much money if it was just Daryl running around for the 55 minutes or whatever the show runs. That'd be pretty incredible, and I'd be pumped to see that.
Hey, Mr. and
Mrs.
Mrs. Flicks. Hey, we see you. We've been chatting a little bit. Maybe a collaboration coming soon, huh? Felt that, guys. They come to our channels too to see us more than what we're watching. Talking is essential. Be yourself. Much love. Again, thank you very much for the super chat here. We appreciate it. And I'm not kidding. Collaboration soon.
I think that's why
reach out.
I think that's why these reactor channels work. I think that's why there's a good handful of them that work. Look, if everybody had the same personality, you wouldn't need 4 or 5 dozen different reactor channels.
Yeah,
and I think when people are a fan of a certain movie, they enjoy seeing how other people react. They enjoy getting different points of view. And so I think if as reactors, if all we did was like laugh and cheer or whatever during the movie and then we cut it off, you really narrow down the importance of, or not the importance, but
kind of what makes it
you narrow down. Yeah, you narrow down like why does there need to be such a big field of people all doing the same thing and going through and talking about how you feel. That's what makes all the different reactor channels unique, and I like to think that's what makes us unique as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just trying to catch up with some of your comments here.
There's a lot of comments.
Quick too. I think maybe we touched on it earlier with the Walking Dead. These spin-offs created a no tension feel for those characters that are in the spin-offs. Like the recent episode of episode 11 by 21 that just came out on AMC Plus a week ahead. There was a lot of potential great tension moments in there, but since we know the fate of these characters, a handful of characters, Daryl, Negan, Maggie, it took a lot away. You wanted to get, like me, I really wanted to get lost in it. But you can't because you know they're going to survive. So
that kind of hurts it.
Yeah.
The rules forever. Thoughts on the House of the Dragon final episode?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed the entire season of House of Dragon, and the finale, I thought, it didn't have that big, huge firework or red wedding type finale to it. But what it did have was the Princess Rhaenyra definitely being tested. She lost her child during birth, and now she lost another one. I was just thinking in my head, am I going to spoil anything? No, it was HBO Max. It already aired because with Walking Dead, we're always ahead on everything. But no, and then it ended with Rhaenyra's other son getting chomped by the massive dragon. It's definitely setting things up for war, and I think it's incredible. I thought it was a really solid ending that really pulled me in and kind of put a bow on that whole first season.
Yeah, for me, the ending of the second to last episode where Rhaenys, comes through the floor on the dragon. Yeah. They're all up. They just crowned a new king, and she steps up, and the dragon gives this huge roar, and you're just waiting for her to say Dracarys and just go. That was a more like over the top, like grand type ending to an episode. But the last episode I think was really solid, and it felt like it completed the first season very well, but it also set us up for the next season. So I don't think there was so much action in the early episodes that they can end off with an episode like that. Like with Rings of Power, it was kind of like and then up a little, and then and the end of it was a little bit underwhelming. And had the entire Rings of Power season been just like banger after banger after banger, and then the last one is kind of a setup for next season, I think I would have had a different reception for it. So for me, the last episode of House of the Dragons wasn't as intense as some of the previous episodes, but it didn't need to be because they delivered so much throughout the course of the entire season. But I did think it was a very powerful statement that they ended off just with Rhaenyra's face after finding out that
thank you, Lilith,
that she had lost both of her sons, basically in the same week. I did see a lot of stuff online today that I didn't recall. where Viserys says earlier on in the season, like it's an illusion that we think we can control the dragons.
Yeah, which was an excellent
which we
point, the way they
found out
showed
at the end, because Aemon, for as much as some people might not like him, he didn't command his dragon to do that. No. So a lot of you guys know me and my memes. That's the other thing about like House of the Dragon. Meme deliveries left and right all season long. Rings of Power, no memes,
none,
no good memes.
Any.
House of the Dragon. Can we?
That's
talk?
how you always judge it, as by the memes.
Can we talk for just a second about the foot thing and the last? Who was ready for the foot thing?
Here they come. The bots are coming.
Oh, the bots are out.
Bots are out. Who was ready for the foot thing? 2 episodes ago on House of the, was that episode 8 or 9?
It was
8, wasn't it?
I think it was 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Who was ready for the foot thing? And that was out of nowhere. I mean, you got the vibe like this guy maybe had
slimy.
He maybe had a crush on her, but he also just felt like he was trying to position himself, like he was Otto Hightower 2.0 except greasier, and then out of nowhere, foot fetish.
Yep. No, and the thing I've really enjoyed
Happy Feet than that scene that you're talking about.
The thing I've really enjoyed with a lot of the stuff we've watched recently is I really enjoy actors telling you a story without saying anything and just using their facial expressions and their eyes and the way they use the cameras and different angles and things like that. Because like you mentioned the shot of Rhaenyra, she didn't have to say anything and you knew what she was feeling. And I think we've gotten quite a bit of that in some of the recent things we've reacted to. So that's kind of become something I really enjoy is, to be able to deliver acting without saying anything.
Sometimes life's greasy.
Yeah,
Get a little greasy.
Quick with the Christmas movies. Yep. Some Christmas movies will be rolling in December.
After Santa Claus, you don't need to see the rest.
We'll probably try to get some polls going either on Patreon or YouTube. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but at least 1 or 2 for sure are coming.
Yeah, I mean,
you have a space to post bad medicine memes. Just a section on our YouTube. Just
memes.
You know what we could start doing, Dave, is we could start dropping some of these memes on the Bad Medicine Instagram page. I think that would be a good spot for we'll start doing that. If you don't already follow us on Instagram, it's Bad Medicine Reacts. Follow us over there. We'll start dropping these memes, and we can all share in the fun.
So real quick, you're absolutely right. Batman was a prime example of subtle acting.
Killed his dad and brother over some toes.
Just wanted some clout.
Jesus.
And KN Kinger, I'd love to do Die Hard, but I've seen it probably 100,000 times.
That's our Christmas movie.
I'm not sure if
we'll see about it because I know a lot of people, a few, not a lot, a few have asked, it'd be interesting to see everyone go back now and watch Die Hard, considering we've watched Snape and seeing if we would call Boobie. Snape in there, so
we'll be your white knight.
But honestly, with the we know a lot of people love the first time viewings.
Yeah,
so
makes it tough.
We will put Die Hard on a poll.
You just end up
we're definitely
talking
gonna let
over
you
the
know.
whole movie.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna let you know that we have seen that one. So
I feel like a TV
I wonder
dinner.
now if watching, because when we were watching Harry Potter and we saw Snape, all we saw is Hans Gruber.
Yep.
I
Thanks,
wonder
Alex.
now if you watch Die Hard, if you're going to be like, it's
Snape.
It's serious Snape.
Someone should superimpose him into it.
Theo, it's Christmas.
Look at
Rules.
this. Is there any chance they're faking the filming of spin-offs? Hear me out. Kirkman did release a couple of fake issues before announcing the final issue.
So
That's a fascinating point.
there may be something to it, but the way they did marketing now for these shows, the only one I would actually, the way they did marketing for these shows now, it seems like they're all happening. Whereas the Rick movie, it was just some kind of title. And that's it.
Yeah.
There was no, hey, this is happening in 2022 or anything like that. A lot of these series now have, hey, 2023, We've already seen photos of Maggie and Negan surfacing that they're filming.
And apparently that just wrapped. Somebody in the comments had just said that the Maggie and Negan's wrapped up already. So
Andrew, you got great taste. Family Guy Star Wars edition movies. Yes.
Hey, Star Wars is coming, folks. I think it might be at the beginning of the year, but Star Wars is
Titanic
coming.
2, Leo's Revenge.
Did somebody said Harry Potter is just British Naruto. I'm not familiar with what Naruto is, but there's a video on YouTube that basically says Harry Potter is just like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys see that one? Like Harry Potter is just like Star Wars. You have like the young wizard who has like this old master wizard. They have like, Luke Skywalker and Yoda, and he's got to travel to a faraway
Obi-Wan.
land to go to a school, and he's got like this other person, and they basically go through and say the whole thing is.
It's tough because it's the hero's journey, right? I mean, you're gonna get knowledge imparted to you by a wiser individual, and your journey's gonna start. So,
Stand By Me. Have you guys seen Stand By Me? I've seen.
I honestly think, it was a kid when I watched it.
Oh, I've seen. It's been a lot of years, but I've seen it a handful of times. One of the greatest movies of all time.
All I remember is the pie eating contest.
Well, I had brought up. It's funny that you bring that up, Jack's World, because I had brought up Stand By Me a few different times, kind of when I started like really getting into Potter. And when I first started watching Potter, I was like, okay, they're kids' movies, they're made for kids. And then I use Stand By Me as an example because once you realize like Harry Potter is like this coming of age story and kids growing up, I was like, that's kind of how I felt. Like I kind of compared it a little bit to Stand By Me, because Stand By Me is about a group of, I think they're all 12 at the time, but Stand By Me isn't a movie for 12-year-olds. It's a movie for adults. You watch it and you see them go through this point in time with their friends and all they experience on their trip. And it was interesting that we're talking Potter and you bring up Stand By Me, but it's a phenomenal movie, and I think it would be fun to react to if it's been a minute since these guys have seen it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a minute.
Yeah, Children of Men's been requested a couple of times. I think I might have saw it in 2006 when it came out with Clive Owen.
I do not remember.
I remember it being pretty good, but gosh, I don't remember much about it. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but that would fall into our dystopian type of movies we've been doing for a minute.
As we wrap up here, folks, as we unfortunately we have day jobs,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to get going here. But I do want to acknowledge Murr. Would you guys watch more shows, movies from other countries? Haven't done Squid Game. Korean show you might enjoy is Beyond Evil, thriller with serial killers and complex characters. I do know Mason Quinn and I have thrown around a couple Stephen Yeun movies that we'd love to see.
Yep.
I know one of them won an award. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we checked them up, but I think we had a list of like 3 or 4 movies, and a couple of them had Stephen Yeun in them, and then some other ones were just from different countries. I don't recall if it was South Korea or Japan or where they're specifically from, but we were looking at some different countries, as well as, of course, we do have a couple of more movies from India that will be
Train to Busan we have seen. Shawshank Redemption. I have not seen that.
Oh, that is a great movie.
I do know people have been saying we need to watch it. I think, did you guys all see it?
Yes.
I know Oak has seen it.
Shawshank is one of those movies where it seems like it's always on at certain times, either whether it's TNT or USA will have it on. I haven't watched it start to finish. I don't know if ever. Because I know I didn't see it in the theater, and I don't think I've seen it all the way through ever. I've only seen okay, here's this scene in the movie where they're on the roof. Here's this part, whatever. I don't think I've seen it start to finish. Now, honestly, I mean, I know enough of what happens in it, but yeah.
Oh, you just disappointed the Oak. He's now a sad sap.
Well, that was always his go-to number 5.
That might come. It probably will come, at least from a first watch from Mason Quinn and I.
That's been my benchmark for what a 5-answer movie. I've been a little bit more.
Lately you've been handing out the 5s.
liberal with the 5s.
So I'm thinking Shawshank's actually a 6.
You gave Halloween Ends almost a 5.
Yeah.
Halloween. Look, I thought Halloween Ends.
Here's another rabbit hole.
I thought it was good. Ends. The very short version.
Haven't seen the Green Mist either.
As I thought Corey's character
Green Mile.
represented ongoing evil. I don't think like everybody's like, oh, the writers just threw in some new character in the last one. No, the writers are smarter than that. They didn't just throw in some character. Corey represented the fact that evil is always going to continue. Evil is going to go on. Evil is going to move forward.
Yep.
And it will find people to pair with. Look, this was not a person who was inherently evil. He went through some things, and maybe there's a little evil inside of all of us. And Jamie Lee Curtis making sure that he didn't like move forward with his evil is, she stopped the next Michael Myers. And there's a lot of symbolism in this movie. I could talk about it for a long time, but I think the big thing with Corey is that, look, evil isn't, once Michael Myers is gone, that doesn't mean evil is gone. It's always going to rear its head. And you have to, like, if you only, like Jamie Lee Curtis for so long, only worried about her own evil, Michael Myers, right? Mm-hmm. And she didn't want her granddaughter to have the same trauma as she did. So she stepped in. Like when Michael Myers was gone, was the world going to be free of evil? No. And I think that was kind of a representation. Now, did Halloween as a series need some sort of deep representation meaning? If that's your argument, no, it didn't. It just needed to be a slasher film. But I didn't mind what they did. And I feel like that's why they did what they did.
Yep.
So,
and somebody shouted out some A24 films. Like I said, we did do Everything Everywhere All at Once. If it was up to me, I would say we should do a ton of A24 stuff. But again, it's all about fitting things into the schedule and having a nice balance. But A24s are always outstanding. They're never let you down.
Yeah. See, as we wrap right here, folks, since we are in the middle of Airbender.
Yep, we are.
Look at that, gentlemen.
Characters grow, the story matures with them. Yes.
All right.
It is an amazing show. You'll love it all.
Yeah, folks. Again, thank you for being part of the channel. If you're subbed, thank you. If you're not, thank you for watching. Even if it was for 1 second, that means everyone's time is valuable. I love that you guys spend even just 1 second of your time with us. Greatly appreciate it.
Means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We all say thank you. So, for Diamond Dave Damone, Appleton Oak, Mason Quinn, I'm, of course, the answer.
Sorry about the tech.
Good night, pals. And we will catch you on the next one, as always.
Hopefully.